you know, many months later. I mean, anything could happen in this matchup, but it's not one winnable for paiN, despite the fact that the two outings in the last 6 months or so that you've seen between these two cores, it's every map won by Mongols, 4-0, you know, in this current kind of era of Counter-Strike, even though I would say that Austin Major series was on an older map pool. So, you know, a little bit of a different look in there. But at least recently, paiN have been somewhat competitive, so let's see if they can potentially dismantle Mongols, knock Mongols out of Chengdu, which would be very disappointing for a lot of the Chinese fans who would have wanted to see Mongols in some of these stage games.
Well, this one not on stage. I wonder if that helps. Controls out in any way, shape or form. 9-10 immediately eliminated by NQZ. The start is not a positive one here for the Mongols. They are losing all sorts of map control. Mzinho, though, trying to pull it back for the team, has found himself one with the assistance of controls. There's a nice little exchange over at Ramp Room, and they've actually dropped the bomb carrier. So even, bLitz getting one more is going to throw a bit of a spanner in the works here. This was a battle on multiple fronts that it looked like paiN was winning, but they just sort of overstay their welcome there in the Ramp Room, lose control of the bomb, and now it's a very tough round for NQZ.
Mzinho and controls just playing this one together, holding hands to try to close things out. NQZ was the one to open up the round. Doesn't hit the silent drop. That may have been heard by Mzinho, who changes up his angle here, going to walk up the ladder, give himself a little bit of verticality and tuck his booty in the corner. Nice and safe. Feeling quite snug, especially backed up by controls, who will likely take this first contact over from Radio Room. NQZ sliding out onto the line. Peppered a little bit by controls. 25 HP at this point. I just don't see this coming together for him. Spots out where Mzinho does reposition, but the dualies are putting the fear of God in this man, and controls will be the one to close it out. Was a worrying start for Mongols on the pistol, but they very much put the pieces back together. And so far on the CT side of paiN's map peaks, so good.
You often see rounds like that sometimes for the Mongols, where things look like they're going a little bit wonky, and then a individual or two steps up. I mean, the fact that bLitz gets one more was a bit illegal, considering the HP that he had. So a couple of things going fortunately for Mongols in that pistol round, I would say, but they'll be happy to get underway with it in the back pocket, and they'll get the rifles in tow as a result. Pistols only for paiN, as they choose not to invest into this round.
Good start for controls as well, getting a 2 on the pistol. 9-10. Continues his fine form from yesterday. Keeping Yard on lock will be quite important for Mongols on this CT side.
Techno looking for the angle onto biguzera, will claim that prize quite comfortably, and then goes for more. Shot in the back of the head by Snow, but he gets his job done and only gives up the MP9. So overall, a happy exchange as far as the Mongols are concerned.
That's just not a duel you're ever winning. Nice and easy for controls. NQZ wanted to see if anyone will give him a freebie here. And 9-10 handing out free bullets. Maybe not what you would have bargained for. Nice and easy. Clean conversion in both rounds for the Mongols.
Early days though. So to not get too far ahead of yourselves here as the Mongols. First gun round here to come for paiN.
Saw some big pacing from them in the pistol. We'll see if they continue that into their early gun rounds here. All rifles for both sides here.
Well, the utility certainly pacey. And here goes DGT. Oh, thought he was looking for the vent drop, but decides to try and pick the face up into Annex, which is going to be a mistake. We'll go down to bLitz. Techno also helping out, and this is very awkward indeed for everybody, apparently, as bLitz just gets caught on the timing there. USP in hand, doesn't work out for him. The trades come back. We're now in a 3-on-3, but the bomb control is completely lost. It's out in the middle of the A site.
That skirmishes on either sides of the map could start to make the difference. NQZ wins an important one over on Ramp Room, and now it's just 2 players in lobby that have lost all control and information in this round. Yes, they have the bomb, but paiN are slowly closing in around them.
They're boosting for heaven.
Oh, they whiffed it though. It's Snow's ready for it, I think, as a result, surely.
Nah, is he? He's waiting. Techno spots him out. Hits the head, and that's imperative. That's important because the bomb, again, is still beckoning for these remaining two paiN members who are both very low and now don't have that pincer strike to assist them. A push-out hut with a setup like this just surely does not work for paiN. Controls is very healthy. Techno goes down for free, and Controls has now been spotted out as well. It's all on the newbie into the roster. 25 seconds left. Plenty of time for biguzera to try and make something happen, but Controls will lock down.
Overlooks the door creep and lets his player die on Rafter. But if you close out the 1-on-2, can't get too much of a slap on the wrist there. Mongolz just peppering paiN down through all of these progression smokes. I think the Brazilians were feeling thoroughly seasoned, a little salty after that.
That was the critical kill coming through from Techno, though, onto Snow, wasn't it? If that kill doesn't come through, it's a much more difficult round.
Down to pistols and armor, though, here for paiN in response. They know that they've taken a lot of guns out of the hands of Mongolz. This is where Mongolz really needs to build up their economy so they can take a few L's on this CT side and keep the good times rolling.
Oh, who's going to throw the smokes?
Who's got the best arm? NQZ, apparently. Bloody hell, he's got some distance on him.
Yeah, well, deep wall of smokes out here for paiN, and then also the close wall of smoke. So smokes everywhere. It's Fate Nation on the outside of Nuke.
Oh, man. They've turned the outside yard into a bit of a hotbox. The HE nades poking open the close wall of smokes, but paiN as a result gonna slip down into secret. Do they have any stories to tell? Messinho is interested. They've caught his ear, but he's the only one.
For now,
get more than he bargained for.
Has been able to cross deep into the site and actually gets up on a catwalk just in time, but will be prompting another rotate to come down. It is bLitz who's here to assist, and luckily so, because there's a multitude of paiN members heading in this direction. Messinho just going to tuck with that USP and take the 1v1 against DGT. It's another easy round for the Mongols. This is looking like a much better outfit than what we saw yesterday.
That's exactly the round that they needed, though. You know, the economy was pretty battered and bruised after it comes down into the 1v2, won by Controls in round 3. So a nice, clean finish in round 4. We'll give 910 access to the AWP and have a nice little trust fund set up for the future. paiN back to the drawing board. AWP comes out on NQZ, not something we've seen them have access to just yet. When will they get started here? DGT under pressure. Who is that? Inside a lobby, Controls. I mean, a player who we've seen just with brain-dead aggression online against Asian teams gets caught off guard. Snow, though, on outside does rectify a bit of a bad situation. 910 under pressure now, also cleaned up. What is that from Snow? It's feeling chilly in Chengdu right now.
I imagine it would be, actually. It's getting quite cold over there. Techno's going to try to salvage the situation. He actually doesn't take any damage in that exchange. Player on top of Annex is going to catch him off guard, though. So it's all on Messinho. He hears a lot of noise on outer. It's going to infer from that that maybe the A side's clear. Go back and take that space.
paiN gonna group up around secret. Let's try to walk in that direction together. Snow and Davidus also very low at this point. Bigu's really the main man who can take a couple bullets here and 100% this round for paiN, but they need to get through it with as many guns as possible, because you can see just how good Mongol's economy is. It's going to take a couple of gun rounds to crack back into this half for paiN. Doors thrown open. The jig is up for Messinho.
Does he opt to just try and save the M4 here?
I mean, maybe, but I feel like it's, even if you're not going to go for it, at least try to take a couple of guns away from paiN. Oh, he wants the AWP. I guess that makes sense. Just safeguard that one. 4-9-10 going forward, because that is going to be a little bit more expensive to replace. Incredible round from Snow. I mean, he's the man that we had in the interview, and you know, up-and-coming youngster that's been touted in the Brazilian scene for quite a while. So he didn't play his trade at a number of international events, and that's just another one of those rounds where you see flashes of brilliance for him. You see exactly why paiN is banking on players just like him to kind of hit a new level, a new era of Brazilian CS, I guess. Although Fury are doing that with the international opposition, it's kind of the, international composition, it's kind of the opposite approach from paiN.
Early timeout here from the Mongols. They give up one round and they decide that's not good enough. Mara's got something to say.
I mean,
Is it just a case of maybe settle it down? Because, you know, we've seen a few outrageous moments already in this matchup. You know, controls into lobby there. bLitz with the push into the smoke with the USP at the event, for example. A couple of moments where, you know, Mongols, it feels like they're kind of trying to push the issue a little bit on this CT side, which isn't necessarily a bad thing, but I wonder if that's the adaptation that Mara's looking for, just to settle them down a little bit.
Sure. See if it makes a difference for them. paiN closing that round out rather cleanly. They'll be happy with how the latter portion of it has gone. 9-10 moved over to ramp room here. Well, DGT, man, that's a good start onto bLitz. Is that on yard again, or is that through the lobby door? Can't see where bLitz has died here.
He's died in hut. I think he might have died in hut. Oh no, he's died in annex. Techno does get DGT, so it brings it back to the 4-on-4.
And traded one back, but look, 4-on-4 on Nuke. You're happy with that. As the T side to start to muddy the water is going to open up a couple of gaps somewhere on the map. Mazinho has a little bit of a look towards the silo. Nothing really on offer over there. Smoke does get broken. And QZ not being given an opportunity by Techno here. Oh, hello. He just lost his focus for a mere second after holding the angle. The kill was very much on offer.
Controls solo on the A-bomb side at the moment, but doesn't look like he'll be tested, as most of this push is headed in the direction of the B side. Techno now coming to work his way into the ramp room. The timing actually not too awkward in the end. We'll just get set up behind Unbreakable.
He's been heard. Mollied out.
Yeah, gonna have to take the fight. Can't do much with that one. And Mzinho a little bit too late for the swing here to salvage. One by one, the Mongols will fall. It's just 9-10. Who has opted to go for the M4. He might want to give this one a crack. There's 15 seconds left on the clock. He's made the right call to go toward B. Can he deny anything here? All he has to do, drop the bomb and survive, but it's not going to happen. paiN will fight together.
Still a couple of examples of Mongols maybe a little bit unsettled. Caught in transition a little bit. The round doesn't start particularly well. Good answer from Techno, but it's, you know, down to 30 seconds before we end up in the post plant that paiN are able to find a handful of kills in the mid round there. And that will break Mongols' economy to some extent, down to an MP9 and a 5.7. Very limited utility. Gonna have to get it done with basic grenades and weaponry. Nade up onto silo. Nobody to receive. The majority of paiN just happy to sit down at the ground level and see what they can find in yard.
Been reasonably successful in yard as well, haven't they? So happy with the proceedings so far. paiN, again, just sort of slowing things down. It's worked out for them a couple times now.
bLitz down here with an MP9. Gonna play this cheapy little off angle. Molotov is going to be a little bit of a tell that paiN are starting to make some moves on outside. DGT slips out. Oh, catching Mazinho off guard. It's shaky for the Mongols, has to be said. 9-10 also caught completely unawares. This is out of character.
Well, Controls will try and deliver once again for his team, and bLitz coming up the ramp will surely catch Davideus. This MP9 can do what it needs to. The trouble is, it's not going to be a round-winning kill, but it will at least give him an M4. Now it's on to Techno. All eyes turning toward the veteran player of the Mongols as he hears that drop, but he just seems like he's unprepared. He turned away. biguzera takes his head off. Nothing Controls can do about it now. They're going to save their guns again, I think.
Maybe. We'll see what bLitz can find over towards ladder base. Wow, he's throw in the kitchen sink, and Snow has successfully flushed him out of heaven. Hold on, Controls have found a pick in towards the upper side, and he's actually going to be able to potentially tickle the bomb here.
No kit. He's got no kit. It's going to be a 10-second defuse in the smoke if he goes for it. He can't find the bomb, it seems like. And that'll probably be that. NQZ will finish it off. It just needed... Yeah, maybe if he had a kit, I think it would have been a big difference maker for him and his decision-making, but in the end... That will be a pretty routine round again for paiN.
I'm loving what I'm seeing from paiN, though. Like, it very much feels like they're unafraid to take little timings or aggress into positions that will make Mongols uncomfortable. And the last 3 rounds in a row, there have been many timings where Mongols, it feels like they're completely unprepared.
Yeah, they are kind of catching Mongols off in a lot of instances at the moment. Pistol round out for the CT side. Bit of damage actually done there to DGT, and Controls is going to try and chase him up the ladder. But he's gotten onto T-Roof okay, and so Mongols, they'll take lobby control, but they'll have to concede outer as a result unless 910 has anything to say about it.
Oh, smoked off.
A little bit more damage though.
Even if he can't see them, he can sense them. biguzera, though, knocking the sense out of him. Snow inside a warehouse. Did see some brilliance for him in exactly this position, so he's feeling mighty comfy to keep pressing the issue.
Zinho coming in on the flank from Secret, but it seems like he's not going to have a whole lot to work with. The USP does well to get 1. X Factor really here is Zinho, but he is being watched for.
He's been given so many chances by biguzera. Finally, Davideus going to clean that one up. And Techno, they're aware of his movements as of late. He'll get himself an AK to work with, but with no armor or a kit. This round will undoubtedly be going the way of paiN, and he will just save onto the rifle going forward. paiN, 4-4 to even up the scoreline here after a flawless start for the Mongols.
Yeah.
I mean, Mara saw something in that timeout early on that he did want to correct, even in a round where I felt like Mongols may have gotten a little bit unlucky, if anything. And... I don't know. I'm not sure if that is the issue in particular he was trying to tackle, but very much has felt like Mongols have been caught off guard a couple of times, have been trying to force the issue a bit too much, looking a little bit shaky here in this elimination game of Chengdu.
Yeah, I have to agree. But it doesn't seem like it's a controls thing, you know what I mean? Like, it's very easy to look at this and say, oh yeah, Mongols are not good because of controls and this and that, but I feel like Controls has actually been totally fine.
He's been fine.
It's the other guys that have been getting caught off, you know, awkward timings for Zinho in ramp. bLitz has been getting picked on outer a little bit.
I mean, even in the games where he didn't perform against Astralis, like, he wasn't the only liability.
No.
It's a multifaceted problem for Mongols that must be addressed in the correct manner.
In due time. They are going to be playing in Hong Kong as well, so, you know, a pretty effective boot camp ahead of the major to try to integrate Controls in, and he's only going to be good for a 1-for-1 there, which is not enough considering Techno went down 4-3. Snow gets a good one back onto bLitz and then turns around to deal with Zinho. A quick A rush gets paiN another round.
Yeah, as soon as they knew that 910 was going to get on the AWP there, they just upped the ante. After a couple of slower rounds, this pace from paiN, great cooling. To once again, I mean, continue the narrative. Mongols left reeling in yet another round. We'll take a timeout to try to right their wrongs here.
Not a lot of util coming into this round for the CT side at all. You've got 4 smokes there. Obviously, Zinho still yet to buy, but it's not a lot to play
rush with that.
No, exactly. That's what I'm thinking. Like, if you see another quick round out here from paiN.
The problem is, like, if you do opt to go for like an uppers pop like that again, there's every chance you could be running into a half buy if Mongols just want to max up the loss bonus and try to stabilize their economy into the last couple of rounds. Like, this could for sure be, you know, 5-7 armor or MP9 armor, something like that. So it's risky to, you know, try to run something like that into what Mongols are upbringing. But look, us with perfect information can see they've got a bit of a lackluster buy here. 910 at least does have the AWP out, and he was very solid with it in their game yesterday, despite the loss.
Davideus going to have a look at clearing out Squeaky there, but smoke obscuring his vision. Slow approach this time from paiN. The molly to start to work hot. I think DGT might have spotted the shadow and might have commented that there's a player up on rafters.
Outside util does come out. Smoke 2 windows as well as the waterfall on top of Annex just to try to deny any information towards Mongols. But bLitz in the back of warehouse will see that no one is crossing in that direction. And here comes the uppers timing.
See if they hard clear a rafters above them. Nobody there at the moment. Yeah, they definitely saw him earlier. Molly's going to fizzle. Doesn't land on the silo. But still, paiN trying to work their way out onto that A side. 1-for-1 thus far. Techno again just can't quite hold on to that spray long enough.
He's seeing ghosts.
Yeah.
I don't know what he's shooting at. Over towards the squeaky door there. bLitz really testing the fire, testing the limits of what his body can withstand. 9-10 now has to get involved in this round. It's a 2-on-2. Very winnable for Mongols.
Lands the shot onto Snow. It's a big one. Of course, Snow was low, but it does bring it back down to the 2-on-1. NQZ has made a step or two, I think, and that molly is going to go in. 9-10, defuse on the bomb. The shots are just wide, but it's a 10-second defuse. NQZ doesn't know that if he just kept spraying, he might have got it. It'll be another round for the Mongols, but it's a touch-and-go round.
It's ice cold from both bLitz and 9-10. bLitz sees a molly and takes that as an invitation to pick one on the cross. I mean, Mongols needed to get something going for them. The uppers hold has been pretty woeful. Techno and Controls as a pairing have been a little bit of a liability in uppers that paiN have taken advantage of, but bLitz and 9-10 more than good enough to close out the late round. 2 more rounds left in the half here. Some reset potential on offer for paiN. They'd love a 7-5 on their map pick.
9-10.
Wow.
Gonna get it done. And again, it is Snow that's able to double down. This guy has been having an absolute belter. 15-6 now. These kills just seem like they're coming out of nowhere.
He's just dominating. Yard on the T side. Multi-frags are plenty. And Mongols don't seem to have the answer for it. Facing reset potential here. paiN, I want to show... Oh, they want to throw everything at the Mongols in this round to take all of the guns out of their hand. Techno had an opportunity there, but that's another duel that doesn't go his way. Extremely questionable couple of engagements for him in this game. Every time he's been in that upper side, it's been like not his normal level of performance.
Yep, a little bit rattled on this CT side, Mongols. Well, and truly looking towards a 7-5 now. Money is
Cooked.
yeah, not great for the Mongols.
3K on 3 of those players. paiN know they're in full control. Snow looking as pumped up outside the server as he looks in it. Oh, they just lined up for him. Made it nice and easy. paiN are feeling like they may break this dry spell against the Mongols. They've lost the last 4 maps in a row, but this one is looking great for them.
Yeah, last 3 series in a row as well.
I mean, one of them was, what, that's 2024.
Well, that was the one
Some
that
of
they
the
won.
people in chat weren't even born by then.
Probably. Yeah, I mean, well, I guess that's a stat, though, that the last time that paiN did beat the Mongols was last year.
Cologne 24.
Which is a long time ago. Techno.
Not again, man.
Timed checking Annex.
He's getting bullied.
Yeah, he can't get anything going, can he?
No.
It's a real spanner in the works for the Mongols. Obviously allows a player down Ven.
Smoke 2. Unbreakable. Molly into credit card. bLitz next up to bat. Bowled clean by Snow. 16-6 for the young man.
Glass is not broken for Mzinho, which makes life a little bit more difficult. MP9 at a range like this is not ideal, but he does deal with DGT, and that's going to give him an AK. Could be a heroic effort from Mzinho if he can hold on to this B bomb site solo. Meanwhile, Control's still trying to put in work on the top side of the map. Catches the lurker of Davideus. Only so many places, though, that Mzinho could be. But the Molotovs still not disrupting him enough to deny another kill. He's done a great job to bring this back to the 2-on-2, which at least gives Controls and 910 something to play with. NQZ, shotgun or biguzera there as well. Door opened. He would have been aware that there was players in that vicinity. And maybe 910 just going to go for another smoke defuse. This one again would be a 10-second defuse. Wants a fight. It won't go his way. 7-5. paiN pull off a very nice first half here on Nuke. Well, it has been a little bit of a back and forth half, but it's certainly been paiN that have walked away with the better of it. Another inspired performance from Snow, following on from his good form yesterday, 16-7 on the T side. Sets paiN up for success.
See if Mongols can start to right the ship a little bit on this T side, be a little bit more assertive, and it's going to start off here at ramp room, running into a crossfire, but it doesn't seem to be troubling them too much just yet. DGT still going unchecked on the bLitz angle and will continue to do so.
bLitz on outer has managed to creep his way forward, and even the shadow will not help biguzera out in that fight. Still does go down there, bLitz, but numbers are advantageous here for the Mongols. Techno has dropped down to B. 910's the one with the bomb. He's going to have to go all the way around to ramp room to join him. This is a little messy, but it's looking comfy for the Mongols. This would be both pistol rounds, the way of the Mongols if they do win this one. So Won't be the easiest of wins for paiN as a result.
Controls was waiting in the wings there, but not given that opportunity towards ladder base. Felt like he wanted to wait around for that frag, but I think he got reeled in a little bit. I mean, I've seen this man play, you know, in many a Asia CS game. I can confirm he does need to be reeled in at times.
Yes.
But by the same token, it's great when you see him let loose, especially in a tournament of this caliber, and still, you know, have some impact.
Yeah, might be able to play a little bit more of his natural game on this T side. Not that he was doing too badly on the CT side. So there we go. Pistol for the Mongols. We'll keep them in the conversation.
Still anyone's game here. paiN have, you know, started off the first half, asked a couple of questions of a Mongols outfit that they've had a tough time beating, at least this year. So it's a good start, but it's far from over at this point.
Investment from paiN. So Mongols will have to work for this one. They're going to just rush past that smoke in trophy room and take ramp room. Again, controls. Happy to be the man leading that charge. We'll slow things down now and rejoin the rest of the forces. It's just NQZ who's now getting that reinforcement from the rest of his team. A very fast rotate from paiN, but not quite what they needed.
No, I mean, you saw 3 or 4 CTs make their way down the vents, and I thought they were about to put something special together. You can see that multiple players on the Mongols did almost die, but almost is not good enough. We'll have to make their way pretty far off the site, though. The bomb radius on lowers is pretty insane at times, but paiN are not hanging around for any more of the action. They've had enough of a battering this round, and they want to just see what damage they can get done with the weapons in the next. Good to know. Thank you. Did you read the safety manual, Jordan?
That's right, yep, I did. I can read.
You sure? No. Didn't quite make it far enough away. But they only, I think, lost a Mac 10 there.
Yep.
Not too bad. You'll take that against the force bite. Some words there at the end there for bLitz.
Yeah.
Thought he was far enough away.
I reckon bLitz was saying, I'm fine. And the rest of the team was like, no, you're not.
No, man. You did get further away.
2 HP is not enough. Anyway, no big deal.
Yeah, Mac 10 comes straight back out for controls. They've said, do your thing, man. Let loose. At some point in this round, you'll see it. Look to send it a little bit. And I actually like that. I think a man of his style, that's exactly the kind of player I want to see send it to get some ecos and some confidence in this kind of environment.
Yeah, for sure. NQZ doing the job of spotting outer. He's now obviously been smoked off. And he's all the way back into CT spawn with the USP. So he's just camping out. Maybe go have a nap. A lot of lobby presence that controls is going to start to get a whiff of, but needs to be careful about the ladder push. Davide is thinking better of it, and so controls will find another timing. It's up to 15 and 8. It's another good nuke performance from him.
Yeah, he's caught more than a whiff there. That's a big sniffer from the man. NQZ. That's hard to look away.
Look, man, it's just a USP. He wouldn't have got any kills anyway.
Could have got at least one, but look, I'm kind of happier it went that way. It was hilarious.
What are you, a biased caster?
I mean, a caster from APAC wants Mongols to win. I, for one, am shocked.
Can't be doing that on the broadcast, mate. This is a professional environment. You should know better.
My bad, G.
G's not playing in this game. G's actually out of the tournament.
No, don't say it, man. My goat.
That's how G feels right now.
He's on his bed in the hotel room. Who's that? DGT. Major stickers. Get them now. They're selling out fast. I just know you'd be the kind of guy to submit some kind of outrageous sticker to the major.
Me?
Yeah.
I'd probably like draw Elphias or something on it.
Elfie is?
Yeah.
I thought you could be drawing something else.
Smiley face.
Smiley face? That's so obvious, man. Have some creativity.
I'm a happy guy.
I mean, you would be if Mongols are playing like this. Starting to turn this one around. 7 apiece. Gonna have a strong economy to take into the rest of this T side. Controls. Once again, hashtag not the problem. Stepping up to the task, at least for now.
Yeah, 910, the one who was just absolutely ripping everyone apart yesterday, has slowed down significantly, but everybody else seems to have picked the pace up, so it's working out okay for the Mongols now, though. First gun round on the CT side will be a bit of a tell, and it's not gone too nicely for bLitz to start things off. NQZ has located his head.
Techno's also taken a tumble off the silo and well and truly twisted his ankle. Limping through the rest of the round on crutches. Crossed a secret, though. Oh, Messinho! He says, wow, you've blown open the smoke for me. That's very nice of you. Evens up the numbers.
Yeah, costs him a little bit of HP, but I suppose you'll take it. Controls might not be too pleased to still be cracking on with the MAC-10 in this round.
Both of the Mongolian lads that are looking a little bit worse for wear are the ones to make their way down into secret. A little bit of utility pressure. Maybe try to bait out some aggression from paiN. And look, it has worked. Unfortunately, with a MAC-10, there's not really much Controls could have done there.
No. 910 now on a bit of an island. His teammates coming back up secret to try to assist him, but both of them have been spotted. There's time here for Mongols to slow things down, but it looks like they're just going to try and take that timing into the A site. 910 will be the one to start to work that angle, and aware of the possibility of Davideus at back then. He's going to get that molly through, allows him to cross and gives that kill over to Techno essentially. Now Snow's the one that they have to worry about. Straight up the vent. He was already primed and already waiting for that exact play, and again it's Snow that will help keep paiN in the round, and of course it is finished off in their favor. 8-8. Well done, Snow. Again, a huge moment from him.
He really bailed them out because that was extremely questionable from the rest of paiN. Good opener from NQZ. Hell of a shot, but what on earth was bro looking at on this particular kill? Then the molly to follow up and isolate Davideus. If Snow doesn't come up with the goods out of vent there, then that definitely would have been a Mongols round.
Now the tough road ahead continues for the Mongols. Felt like it was easier going off the back of the pistol, but realistically, you look at a lot of the rounds that they've got, you know, 5 or 6 out of 8 have actually come off the back of the pistol and the conversions. So they have definitely been the worst team in the rifle rounds. You just start putting some gun rounds together that, you know, make you feel with a bit of confidence, because we're not quite at that stage yet.
Down into lower. DGT to receive. Full belt to utility to try to slow down the play so some rotations can come to fruition. He's been mollied off. Replies with a molly of his own that will just push bLitz forward, who actually jiggles his way down the vent line and will secure control on over there. That may not be a timing that they're ready for on the rotation if somebody tries to make it down the vent, but paiN are not making moves over there for the time being. DGT digging his heels into the lower side, but he still doesn't really have too much help until this rotation comes into Megaton.
Oh, that is not going to be the rotation that is going to be helping DGT. He's dropped the smoke down as well, so his position given away, and ends up being a pretty easy round for the Mongols. I mean, that was elephant feet from biguzera.
Yeah, but he only had an MP9. Like, he was out of position to defend the lowers play. So he was just trying to scramble to get into an angle where he actually could have taken a tool that was winnable, which is why he's stomping his way down there.
Zinho on the hunt. Oh, he might find 2. Nice trigger discipline initially, but actually misses the shot and overcommits to it. So could have been a little bit better. Makes a bit of a meal of it.
And he had 4 bullets as well. I mean, that's just bravado on full display there. That hands an AK to Davideus, an upgrade from the MP9. He'll be happy with that. 4 alive for the Mongols nonetheless. Still neck and neck here on Nuke.
Yeah, very, very close map, that's for sure. We've been treated to some really close affairs on the B stream here at IEM Chengdu so far. It seems like we're headed in the direction of another one.
Was very close the last time these two teams played. 13-11, 13-10, 3 months ago at Blast Bounty. You can see just how closely that they are matched. paiN may feel like it's their time to break this losing record this year versus Mongols, with Senzu out of the picture, but Controls is giving them just as many issues. I'm going to take a timeout. First that they've had to take so far in this game.
Yeah, it's been the Mongols that have really felt that they've really needed to push those timeouts through.
It'll take quite a bit of effort to get back into this game. You saw just how good the economy was looking on Mongols, and past that, that's where the loss bonus is going to start to stack up. Not going to be an easy game for paiN to win on the CT side. Somebody else other than Snow is going to have to start getting rolling here. Had a couple of nice moments here and there for NQZ. It's clear that, at least mechanically, this AWPer is feeling himself. But Snow, at least in terms of the rifling, is going to need a little bit of help.
Oh, secret cross looks to be successful here for the Mongols. 9-10 having a bit of a look as the smoke fades. Is not going to be given a fight.
NQZ down in lowers. All pat the ready. 9-10 waiting for the re-aggression. Snow pushed away, melting a little.
Techno hears that from on top of Annex.
Progression smoke to windows. There's a high-low between heaven and hell.
Techno's been able to creep his way up close. biguzera looks very ready for this fight, but the bink for bink goes the way of Techno with the AK, of course. So a good opener for the Mongols now. That's thrown paiN for a bit of a loop, because Mongols are now on their way back up to A. Techno. Ladder play. Not ideal.
Spots out at least a position of Davideus, but just because they know where he is doesn't mean they can deal with him.
Controls has an incend, but it's not going to matter. He doesn't get the chance to throw it. Now it's all on 9-10 this round. Maybe the Mongols trying to get a little bit too fancy with it. 9-10 will try and save the day here, but not going to happen. 9-9, paiN. Pull one back.
That's 2K from Snow. Davideus cleans up the rest of it. There you go. What can't this man do for paiN? 20 kills in the server, and he's keeping the boys nice and pumped up as well. Giving Davideus the props that he needs. Leading in and out of the server. Timeout from Mongols. Last one that they'll have access to for Mara to make any kind of adjustments on the T side, and then it's just up to them to take this one home.
Controls just locking in. Cracks his knuckles.
He's been locked in.
Stretches his neck. No, mate. That was Controls. Now we're getting Controls Prime.
Getting Control Easy.
Control Easy. He's powering up.
Control S, as they've been calling him.
Is that what they've called him? Control S?
I think so.
No,
that's all right.
Got to get in touch with a bit more of the Asian CS.
Yeah, I can't believe that people haven't been watching
Chicken Warriors versus God's Reign.
I wasn't gonna say it. DGT once again finds Techno. I mean, outside of that nice crouch peek in the last round, he just continues to struggle for the Mongols here on Nuke.
Well, a lot of space there for biguzera to play around.
Who will open things up on outside here for the Mongols? A lot of names on offer. Out in the yard, the boys are organizing something. Could be a nice game of kickball. Could be a bonfire. Bigu, he's interested. He hasn't got the invite yet.
Nate's going to go through, but the Mongols aren't actually interested in pushing their way into Annex. NQZ aware of that. We'll take down MZNeo. DGT, low on HP, is going to be a tough fight for him against 9-10. So B-side is starting to open up for the Mongols, but in response, paiN taking control elsewhere on the map.
Teams have made their way down into lower. Space given to them. Snow Feeling like he wants to get too toasty inside of the vent, and Controls will look to do exactly that. Hold on to this vent space.
It's a big fight here for Controls. If he's able to win it, he might be able to deny not just Snow, but NQZ's rotate as well. There's the drop. It will go the way of Snow. So extra pressure now on bLitz and 910, who answers the call well for one, but no more than that. Time, though, is ticking away, and this is a very winnable clutch for bLitz. He is waiting so patiently. The glass has been blown open for him. Waiting, and just not getting the shot onto the diffuser. He took the shot too early. If he would have held his trigger, he might have been able to swing for the shot that he needed, but in the end, paiN will get away with one with 3 guns alive, and this starts to get away from the Mongols a little bit.
Good start for DGT. Snow winning that very important duel as well. Every time he's needed to step up for paiN, he's delivered. And I was saying it's going to be hard for paiN to win this game on the CT side because of the money that Mongols had built up for themselves 2 in a row. And the windfall is starting to blow away at this point. Outside wall of smokes. Must be a milkshake because there's a lot of boys in the yard here. Going to make their way into secret. NQZ can hear all of this.
Zinio and Controls are waiting. I think it's a bait really there from bLitz. Trying to pull the warehouse player out to see if he's going to have a look into secret. I mean, they are so locked in on NQZ. They really want to find him, and they are. Now it's Davideus that's going to have to answer the call, and he's got himself 2, nearly 3. Techno very low off the back of that engagement, and he's essentially alone on this A site. bLitz is still floating around on outer.
He's a known quantity, though. In the 3-on-1, paiN should be able to close this one down. DGT sitting behind this little unbreakable box. Hold on. We went into heaven to leave heaven. I guess he's just saving. Mongol's out of money. bLitz feeling better about his prospects with a hero AK in the next with a weaker buy around it than a 1-on-3. We'll give some time for Mongols to discuss as well. They are out of timeouts on this T side, so a safe situation does give you, you know, kind of a soft timeout to just discuss what's happening.
Yeah, that could be more important than you'd think.
That was me and you know, last night.
Excuse me?
I mean, I'm staying at your house. You didn't have any other room. We have to sleep head to foot, so it's not weird. Right. In the same bed.
Just going to let you keep digging that hole on your own. Hero AK for bLitz.
You were a willing participant at the time. paiN, though.
Stop.
I mean, NQZ doesn't find the opener, but biguzera will at least trade it down by bLitz, who we saw save that AK in the last. Wanting to put something heroic together in this round, and it's, look, started off well. Going to need a few more of those to make a bit more of a name for himself, at least in this round.
It's going to have to be what it's going to have to be for the Mongols, and really that is, like you said, all on the shoulders of bLitz. He's set up here. Snow ready for that push, but yeah, even though bLitz is good for the trade, he had seen a couple too many teammates fall before he got anything done.
I mean, the daps are palpable here for paiN, and you can't blame them either. That's 4 rounds in a row on the CT side, and all of them felt like paiN were in control and closed them out quite convincingly. Mongols, after being 9-8 up just a few rounds ago, are facing map point to lose their first map to paiN this year.
Not true. They lost the map to paiN earlier on in the year, in February. But their first one in at least 6 months, I think is fair to say. DGT is going to try and help them out with a team kill onto biguzera, but it's not really going to shift the needle all that much. The Mongols still looking in pretty dire straits, and I think at this stage they'll probably just be looking forward to getting onto Ancient because Nuke does not seem to be their jam right now.
Snow inside of the door. Given another opportunity by Techno. bLitz headbutts the smoke. Just trying to make anything happen with some fancy footwork.
Tabadeus has spotted 910, and that might be the deal sealed. The nail in the coffin. It's all on bLitz solo, and he's down to 24 HP, which is certainly not going to be enough. 13 on the board for paiN. They will take map 1 away from the Mongols.
Well earned by paiN. Initial half, you had a hard carry performance from Snow, but it has to be said, a lot of the boys having their moments and some nice multi-frags on that CT side. What was a good start for Mongols?
The Mongols locking in for map number 2. A must-win if they want to survive here in IEM Chengdu.
You see if Mara has been able to get through to them in the break. 3 timeouts taken by the Mongols pretty early on in Nuke. Did not make much of a difference. So now that they've had a time to rest and recover between maps, can they pick themselves back up right before they head out of the lower bracket?
Yep, 910 went a bit missing on Nuke as well, so he'll need to pick it back up here. It's a faster play to start things off for the Mongols. They are not messing around. They're just going to hot foot their way toward that B bomb site, try and test the aim of paiN. It's Snow that initially gets challenged, and he's just going to be deleted by Mzinho. Now, there are numbers here for paiN, which is going to good work. biguzera get himself a double, and the rest of the troops filtering through to assist. They completely wipe the floor with the Mongols.
They're really feeling so good today. You've heard Snow and how pumped up he's been, how much of a motivator he's been for paiN. Also putting together some great stuff inside of the server. biguzera, the most quiet member of paiN on that map of Nuke, is the one to really kick off Ancient with a bang.
Well, Mongols look like they're going to try and get up to some funny business in this round with a couple of pistol upgrades. Controls no success trying to work his way into cave.
Not stopping anytime soon. That was a very Controls kind of thing, really. Like the rest of the team not really doing too much of anything, and he's in cheater.
Yeah.
Techno also go and walk about a little bit, one at a time, into these Brazilian players, and NQZ is really working on the ult fund at this point. Mzinho throws the M4 away. Cheeky stuff from the man. Bigu confirming that there won't be... Oh, that was cute. Did try to go for the little bit of a head stack there to recover the M4. I'm not sure if it would have worked, but I love the idea.
Maybe we'll see on the replay. I can't see it there. I think it's well gone. So maybe cost paiN a little bit extra, but no big deal really. They get themselves the pistol and the anti-eco, which they didn't have the luxury of on Nuke. Remember as well, by the way, 13-9 victory for paiN, but Mongols won both pistols, so it ends up being a little bit more of a dire situation than it looked actually for the Mongols. Had those pistols not gone their way, and now they're going to have to do it the hard way without the pistols. A-site take is going to be the option of choice, and NQZ is going to make short work of them. Very easy stuff, one by one into the AWP. It's just a contact play that NQZ has seen a million times before and is very happy to answer. Now, there is a bit of a fight back coming through from bLitz and Controls.
Full white, able to trade at least one more back. That started so poorly for Mongols, but they're scrapping their way back into it. Controls sticking around on low HP while bLitz tries to pull this rotation all the way off the A site. One bullet, one tap dirt nap onto DGT there. And Snow with the AWP in hand.
I mean, Snow wins these. I've seen it before. Like, this guy has just been absolutely cracked at this event.
He's got a kit. bLitz tucking himself into cheater.
The trouble is, bLitz is full HP. I mean, he's got the USP out. That'll deal with Controls, no problem, but...
I mean... Oh, he's... yeah, I thought he had a smoke. No, it's a flash, unfortunately. Molly's there for bLitz, so if we really do run the clock down, that could secure the round.
Yeah, and bLitz has timed it pretty nicely to walk his way into Donut, even if Controls goes down here. Wait, unless he sticks it. No way.
No way! Oh, so close. Controls has really done a number on them there. That should have been around for paiN every day of the week. Incredible multi-frag from NQZ there.
That was a very good effort from Snow. I was just You know, when I said Snow wins these, I didn't expect that he was going to get it that bloody close.
I mean, he just...
I actually thought Controls had a bit of nap there. I actually thought he'd lost that round. I think the HUD might have, you know, just baited it a little bit. It looked like it was done, but Controls swings on the timing. I mean, that would have been an egregious mistake, obviously, at the back end there for Controls. But yeah, like you say, a huge round out of him. He's trying to fill Senzu's shoes as best he can.
Secured the round well enough for the Mongols in a round they had no business winning. Big nuts. Odd display, full display from Snow there. Could have just saved the AWP.
Well, Snow, at this moment, a top 5 player in the event.
He's playing like it. Bloody hell. 9-10's up there, thereabouts. Probably took a little bit of a nosedive after that last map.
Yeah. But first gun round goes the way of the Mongols. Only barely, but it's enough to break the money of paiN down to an awkward buy.
Forcing their way out middle. DGT hanging around in red room. Bigu. 5-7 against the Mac 10. Does enough damage to Techno to command some respect.
And Davideus not able to spot 9-10 on that cross, so 3 players make it over to red room relatively unscathed. Story may change here. DGT putting in some work, and Snow's there, but he's dealt with as well. Controls. Hey, what did we say? He likes a bit of ancient, and he is liking it a lot at the moment. And Zenio does only get himself 1, so this round is still kind of up in the air, depending on what Davideus can do. But now having been smoked off, it will allow for an easy plant for the Mongols.
Techno cleaned up in the background. Davideus is still quite active inside of A main, despite the fact that he's been smoked off, but catching that nade is going to diminish his interest in trying to get anything else done. We'll just set up for exits. biguzera. Couldn't find a rifle in the meantime. Maybe there is one on offer at bottom side and middle there, but I think it's just the Mac 10 that Techno was holding on to previously. So
yeah, he was. It was a Mac 10 initially. I don't know if he changed it to a different gun.
Nothing too exciting.
Yeah.
I mean, Bigu gets a smoke for his trouble. So far, I mean, for Mongols, it's been a 3K and a 2K from Controls to win both of these gun rounds. A little bit of support from bLitz on the first iteration. Really stepping up into the shoes of Senzu. Here's the tip of the spear there for Mongols.
Probably the best player in Mongolia, this Controls guy.
Yeah. I mean, look. He's 28, but he's not washed. Hasn't recently taken a bath. Gives me some hope that maybe there's something I can do. I'm 29, but I'm not running it down online on the daily, so I haven't been, you know, screwing for this.
Well, nice flash there into Cheetah. He's going to catch both Controls and 9-10 unawares. Techno and Mzenio working hard to try to pull this round back into the favor of the Mongols, and it does look like that effort will be rewarded. Still one more player on this B bomb site that ultimately will fall. So it was a bit of a heart-stopper of a moment there for Mongols initially, but the recovery is swift.
Plant's not down yet, though. That's going to give Davideus some time to get involved. If he doesn't have the kit, if he just wins this first tool versus Mzenio, there's some potential there. He's lost a lot of HP on the way through. Bit of a soft crossfire to close things out. bLitz able to close things out nicely for Mongols. A third in a row. Haven't been clean or inspiring rounds at times, especially when they're tested this heavily by the pistol and the rifle, but they are rounds nonetheless.
Yeah, just kind of got to get back on the wagon, I'd say, if you're the Mongols here. Got beaten up a little bit on Nuke. It seems as though 9-10 still, you know, hasn't quite woken up today, but he's got the AWP in hand. Oh, jeez. Okay, he doesn't have the AWP in hand anymore.
I don't know if he had any head armor. Controls cleaned up on shelf. Somebody else will have to step up. These have been the two best players for Mongols at this event thus far, really. Gonna take the rest of the boys to get something rolling for themselves. A triple peak is too much for Techno to handle. Mazinho, not good for it either.
Yeah, nice round from DGT though. Good recovery for paiN to just sort of slow down a bit of this momentum that was starting to build for the Mongols.
I mean, there's a minute here for bLitz, and he's not in a saving stance. Cutting down these angles. It's a deep off angle inside of cave for Snow. Do you see the barrel if you inch up around this corner for bLitz? Surely you have to look for a kill before you can even think about planting.
He's going to walk all the way up short, which might not be a bad shout if he goes all the way to CT and wins that duel. He can plant on A.
I mean, his NQZ locked in on Red Room. Doesn't even matter. Snow, once again, on top of things for paiN. Nice recovery for them. Immediate timeout for Mongols.
Good vibes in the paiN camp, it has to be said.
Straight from the start of the game. And I think that comes down to Snow, really. When your star player is also the kind of person that gets pumped up and motivates other people when they're playing well. I mean, you know, the good times will just keep rolling. The vibes have been very, very strong for paiN this entire time, and there's no reason why they shouldn't be, really.
Some words from Mara. Didn't really seem to shift the needle too much on Nuke.
No.
They can do anything about the results so far on Ancient.
I mean, 910 finally got the AWP in his hands, and the most impact he had on the round was catching a bullet in the face. About 10 seconds in. Won't have the money to get himself another. Down to pistols with the hero AK on Mazinho.
Here goes Mazinho, just up the ramp, will be smoked off, but he can get out in front of it. Oh, wants to take that duel. That's a very bold fight, but he knew he had backup even if he did go down, so timing will work out quite nicely there for the Mongols. They needed to take a risk with a buy like this, and they've done it. They've got that plant. A very quick one too.
Another flash sitting here on bLitz. Could set up the next wave of aggression from Mongols to try to disrupt this retake before it starts to come in. Re-execute in onto the site from the CT side. It's a bit of a role reversal, but what a flash from bLitz to set up 910.
Yeah, that's a beauty. Nice little bounce right there, and DGT does go down as a result, but two players at wood wall. Not aware of that is paiN, and NQZ is well out of there. A masterstroke of a round from the Mongols after the timeout. Pulls that momentum right back in their favor.
Faked place in Mazinho, and he delivers. Big 3K with the hero rifle, opening up just enough of an opportunity for Mongols to win a round they had no business being competitive in. And a missed opportunity for paiN to convert what could have been a little bit easier of a round. Still do have the money to buy up into round number 8, but that has put a massive dent in their economy. Reset potential is palpable for the Mongols. If they can win round number 8 here, they will have a pretty one-sided T-half, one would imagine.
Bit of damage done from the outset. bLitz just burns alive. The mid-take has not gone well. paiN getting away with a lot of the opening duels in this half so far.
Now Techno feels the need to activate a little. Found some space through Cheetah into cave. paiN be aware of this pacing. Snow and biguzera looking like a couple of dwarfs inside of a coat right now. Stacked up on each other's heads, but will fall off. Techno's heard all of this. Ready on the line. Catches biguzera. This could be where things start to turn around for the Mongols. Beautiful stuff. The B site just folds like a bloody plastic chair.
Yeah, this is not how this one should have gone. paiN were very much in the advantageous position, and the Mongols have just bullied their way up into B. So, it does feel as though the winds of change are in effect. You know, it felt like a lot of those kinds of moments were going the way of paiN on Nuke, and now it's just feeling a little bit easier for the Mongols to get through some of these rounds. So I'm already sort of sensing a map 3 in our future here.
You're getting some grit from some of the Mongols players that you didn't see on Nuke.
Yes.
Yeah, but there's going got tough on that initial map. It didn't really feel like they were stepping up. They were, you know, cutting corners, taking some risks. This map doesn't feel like the same kettle of fish at all.
No.
You saw it from the hero AK from Mazinho, down 2 players. Techno knows someone has to make something happen. And hand in hand with Controls, he's the one to do it. Going to be a frustrating round for paiN. In fact, a frustrating couple of rounds for paiN. They were really in full control of this game. And then, look, okay, whoopsie. Hero AK round where Mazinho gets the timing. That round, though, is a bit more egregious. He had a 2-man advantage, and you just get caught by a timing in a part of the map where no one... Like, they knew it was dirty. They knew they didn't have a setup for Cave or Cheetah, and they just overlook it.
Little mistakes. I mean, to be fair, it's not really one of the go-to maps necessarily for paiN. So, maybe not as comfortable on this one as they were on the likes of Nuke. Those little things are not as easy to come by. On a map you're not as comfortable with. And speaking of not easy to come by, it's weapons in this round for paiN that they're lacking. Still, they've got NQZ with the AWP, and he's good for 1.
He's been good for a couple. Even earlier on in the game. Hasn't necessarily converted a round for paiN, though. Oh, my lord. Nade stack onto Snow in the backside of the site. Does even up the numbers. Now TheMongolz calling the audible all the way back over to this A site where there is really not much going on for paiN. NQZ is starting to trend in that direction. He'll have a good enough timing to get involved here. But does he choose to sit on a deep line where TheMongolz can potentially lob some utility in his direction? I mean, even if they do, paiN are reading this so well. Big stack over to A.
Yeah, almost all 4. TGT not quite there yet, but 910 is there a little faster than NQZ, and that will prove to be quite differential as the AWP has now been dropped. It might be retrievable for DGT, but he takes the fight initially with the 5-7. TheMongolz working their way out. Davideus can't line up 2. One plank goes down. DGT, best case scenario here, maybe just saving that AWP. He wants to go for another one and just gives 910 a bit of target practice, which is probably not the wisest of ideas considering what we saw from 910 yesterday. If he wakes up in this series, that could be curtains for paiN.
I mean, he didn't really need to do much in that round. He was just posted up on the temple window and just clicked on a couple of players, walking straight into his crosshair. The Shadow, even a massive tell that he was going to get a freebie. Another nice entry from Controls. Money still good enough for paiN to put another fight together here. Once again, looking to contest middle. Davideus and DGT have passed the test every single time. bLitz and Controls down for the count.
You know, another opening advantage for paiN, but it doesn't necessarily mean that this round is going to go their way. TheMongolz have been good in these disadvantageous positions.
I mean, biguzera could be tested in Red Room here.
Yeah, Techno. Oh, what a clean kill. And 910 gets the rid of biguzera as well. It's just turning on its head, isn't it? TheMongolz have found that magic again.
Yeah, they're cutting down the numbers and cutting the map in half. Smoked off out of Red Room. Flash on through to try to set up Snow, but inside of the smoke, Mazinho has isolated the tool onto the support player. I thought he was going to try to swindle Snow. He's gone straight to the source.
He might still swindle Snow. He does. Yeah, I mean, like, it's just a shift so dramatic between map to map. You can feel all these like weird 50-50 situations. I mean, even that fight from Techno, for example, into Donut, that's not even a 50-50.
Yeah,
that's like a 30-70 duel, and he's just won it so clean.
The different TheMongolz to Nuke.
Yeah,
like,
literally.
On Nuke, I was like, oh, they're down in numbers, it's GG. But on this map, I'm like, oh, it's a 3-on-4. They've probably won this one.
Yeah. 3-on-4, they've got no map control. All good.
Mid-control uncontested this time for paiN. They simply just don't have the weaponry to do so. 910. Good opener onto Davideus, who peeks out on the A side of the map. TheMongolz feeling like that might be a nice place to make their home. Throw a progression smoke into the middle of the map. Just try to keep paiN interested. Maybe after a little bit of mid-control that a split through red room could be on the cards, but as we can see, DGT's set up in there, and he doesn't see a damn thing right now. So paiN are going to back themselves with the stack on the B side of the map, and, you know, we can see that's not going to go well for them, but they'll probably just set up for some exits.
Patience from the TheMongolz. Waiting out that smoke.
The least I've ever seen controls move in my life.
Well, slow and steady from the TheMongolz. And it's going to work out. There's no one from paiN there. But still crossing the T's and dotting the I's.
paiN finally moving. Setting up a little bit of a net around the TheMongolz, but might not be a beast that they can capture. Not sure anyone has arms big enough to wrap around bLitz. Absolute unit in the server when he's on his game.
That was around a Counter-Strike.
Yay! Ah, wow. I can't believe we are being blessed with such thrilling games here at IEM Chengdu. I mean, throwing away the ult might not be what you wanted to see. DGT's made an extra 1,200 bucks, which will allow paiN to buy a secondary AWP if they want one. I'm not sure if they're one of those teams, though.
Surely not in the final round of the half if they haven't bought it at all up to this point.
What do you mean, why not in the final round of the half? That's the best time to do it. Then you don't suffer the bitter disappointment of your poor financial choices.
Yeah, I mean, I suppose like it's not been working and they might change things up, but
yeah,
not happening here.
I mean, it's not that it hasn't been working, to be honest. Like, they've dominated mid-control, but then it's just losing the mid-round.
TheMongolz out onto lane. DGT looks like he wants to challenge that, but he can't see a thing. That was a team flash, surely.
Yes, it was.
That's not ideal, but no, he tries to recover it, just can't do enough. The bodies that are thrown at him will eventually overwhelm him.
And Davideus looking to activate from cave.
910 plants the bomb at the wrong time. He might get it. Ooh, gives away the position now. So 910 away to the danger will risk that plant anyway. And Techno happy to hide behind this smoke, although it's going to fade shortly. Oh, he's timed it nicely. Did NQZ see him? I think not. Techno rips his head off. This is just an inspired performance again from Techno in comparison to what we saw on Nuke, and that is a lot of damage onto Davideus, which will be finished off. TheMongolz are right back into the thick of things. 9-3, a fantastic first half on Ancient. This has very much been a matchup that has been defined by the tale of two maps. On Nuke, it felt like paiN had everything going their way and Mongols couldn't get anything happening at all. Here on Ancient, it has been the complete opposite. 9-3 the scoreline. The Mongols looking good to close this out and force us through to Inferno. This round in the second half underway. Snow has started well. Has started very well. Mzinho, feeling a bit of that pressure, is going to decide to back up as well. A pistol would be exactly what paiN needs.
Controls, though, keeping things interesting. Unfortunately, that's where the good news ends for the Mongols. Snow has wiped the floor with them after a quiet first half following an outstanding game on Nuke. The youngster has woken up for paiN yet again. Newest addition, but far from a youngster. Controls looking for some exits here.
Every little bit counts. Bit of extra cash in the back pocket for the CT side would be nice. Not going to get it. So paiN trying to keep the spirits high. Snow is, at least. Looks like a good teammate to have on the squad.
100%. I love a player like that on your team. A motivator out of the server. Young, so much potential in front of him, and a monster on his game in the server.
Infectious energy as well, I imagine. We've got two flashes, though, for Controls here, and it'll be a full B setup from the Mongols. We'll see what they get up to in this round. A bit of funny business, perhaps.
Bigu comes on over, says hello. DGT also a guest on over there. Mzinho throwing up bodies at anything, and you might get something done, but you have to ask yourself the question, was it worth it? I think so. Only had USPs there. Almost cleaned up Snow as well. Hit the fast forward button. I've watched far too many VP eco rounds where they, just sit around for a minute. That's a little bit more like it.
Wall sniffers.
Wall sniffers. And you've got your Kindar. He's a monitor sniffer. You're a something sniffer. I'm not gonna say it, but we all know what I'm saying. Think about it.
I'll have to find out. Faster play again from paiN straight out into middle. It does result in a little bit of damage off the util from the Mongols, but not much more than that.
No.
Really needs to be getting that kill.
Oh, I did not know he was feeling hungry because he's made a meal of that one. Zinho able to clean up his leftovers at least, but it's still not good news for the Mongols. I'm sure we're going to have to watch that in the replays as well. I don't want to, but I just know it's coming down the pipeline.
Everything equalized. 3 players stacked over toward the B side for the Mongols, feeling the threat on that side of the map. Controls has gone looking for a bit of info, and he comes up with a bit more than he bargained for. A headshot onto Davideus will swing this round back towards the Mongols. paiN try to think about what is plan B going to end up being now. They've only got a singular smoke to get into this site, so it might be a little bit more contact heavy. As you can see with biguzera trying to probe in through Cheetah. Just the one smoke for short. Techno in the corner here with the MP9 will make short work of that. Picks himself an upgrade. And so paiN are having a tough time, and this is the problem when you've only got the one smoke to try to make your way into the B bomb side. That position on long is able to prevent really any entry into the site.
Love that little push down ramp in the mid round from Controls. Giving them the numbers and a little bit of information. bLitz. Oh, yeah. Missed opportunity. Freebie handed to him in Red Room. But bLitz doesn't take handouts.
This time, doesn't look like paiN are going to quite move so quickly in toward middle. They've actually put a bit more presence over towards lane. They're eating a bunch of grenades, and Snow's also been given a little bit of a love tap there by bLitz through the smoke, so it's already a little worse for wear on the behalf of paiN. Techno up to his usual tricks outside of cave. Okay, gets 3 all on his own.
Could have been happy with one there, but he went back for seconds and third helpings.
Yeah, I think he's just trying to make amends for the last map because I mean, it felt like every time Techno was on our screen, he was just getting absolutely bamboozled in every aim duel on Nuke. And now things are flowing in his direction. He's saying, yeah, I'm going to lap that up.
I mean, that's what is expected of him, you know. Nobody's perfect. You can have an off game. But players of this caliber need to have the resilience to pick themselves back up. Techno, an staple of this Mongols outfit for the longest time.
Yep. Techno, bLitz, and Mara, the core three.
Mara, the core of every Mongolian team conceived of since the dawn of time.
Yeah.
It's kind of like a Gandhi, Jesus-like figure in Mongolia. Mythical and full of wisdom. Didn't tell Mizinho that DGT was saving in spawn though, and that's probably something that they should know. I don't think there's even enough time to get the bomb and get to the site even, but a couple more guns taken away from Mongols, which, to be fair, at this stage in the game, they can't necessarily afford to replace, but with a 6-round lead, I mean, the loss bonus will stack up either which way.
Yeah. This was a ballsy play from Techno. I don't think there was any flashes there to assist him.
No.
Nade down the ramp, but aside from that, nothing really to support it. Techno's just decided to take that round and run with it himself.
But those are the kind of rounds that, being on the other side of it, very frustrating and also get in your head a little bit, you know? Like, he didn't need to do that. No. But he still did it to you.
But he could. 9-10, bringing much that same idea to this round. Gets a bit aggressive on the ramp, decides better of it. There's a bit of info coming on both sides as the Molotovs are singeing some toes. DGT will find a double entry. And now Techno tucked in the corner, has to make a miracle out of it. Tried, but running with the AK. Can't put it together, and looks like Mongols might be losing this round. A grenade that will sail a little too far to do any damage. Leaves Mzinho with a 1v3. It is a winnable one considering the HP of these players. Sacrifices a little bit for that kill, but that's the bomb spotted. Good swing in there from paiN together. Job done. Round on the board for paiN, but a long way to go before this gets interesting.
Yeah, it felt like ever since 9-10 fell off of this angle, it was a bit of a traffic jam around the pillar there for Mongols. Too much space given for paiN to scale up into the P site. Nice and up close and personals with the techers. Force by coming out in response for Mongols. Open a rifle, but there's no util. And a couple of lackluster weapons behind it. Early contest in middle. Some chip damage by paiN. Oh my lord, the util combo. Flash and a molly. Techno standing inside of it. bLitz though, rectifying the situation at least for a moment. 9-10 getting involved as well. Man disadvantage for but a moment until Mongols instantly recover.
Yeah, it seems like Mongols always have an answer. A headshot from downtown. Still, they're fighting for it. DGT does get one, instantly brought back to heal by Mzinho, and 9-10 is now in CT spawn, not controls with a 5-7, which is a rude awakening. Snow, hang on, where's that come from? 1v1, can't win it. 9-10 saves the day for the Mongols, 12 on the board, and it seems like Inferno is almost assured.
I mean, I'm a massive Mongols fan, but when you see how good Snow is, you just want him to win. You want him to win that 1-on-3. It's pure intuition and mechanics from this young man. Look at this.
Yeah, that's unreal.
Gorgeous. And paiN scrapping whatever they can together here. Looks like we're going to send it into B at some point in this round. Snow on the lurk with the Tech 9 in towards the middle. Mongols looking for a biff. Down the P ramp here.
Bring back the biff.
Yep.
Controls ready for it. Techno there to back him up. And it does seem like paiN have no option but to walk into it. Davideus will creep his way around the corner, and the 1-2 punch works out perfectly for the Mongols. Controls flashed out, still does a lot of damage to NQZ.
In the meantime, though, Snow has found bLitz in middle. Could be a rifle. picked up for him. Only an MP9, but still it's an awkward situation for Mongols, kind of hot-footing it around. 910 getting on this deep midline from Donut, starting to recover things. Techno applying pressure to Bigu, who will fall away and maybe looks to join up with NQZ. Is still occupying mid, bomb in his hand. Bigu continue to press the issue here.
NQZ going to be spotted out though, and that's the problem. Bomb now dropped, even though biguzera has crept his way out onto the B side, and in theory should get the kill onto the Techno. That's not even going to happen. So round over and done with, 13-6. Not much of a fanfare for the Mongols, as they know there's still a job to do here in Chengdu. But they do take that second map in convincing fashion and force us all the way to Inferno. paiN now have got that weight on their shoulders of possible elimination as well.
It's true. Started well this series for them, but Mongols really flipped the switch. Multiple timeouts taken over on Nuke.
If they can maintain their level, is definitely going to be Snow. We sort of talked about that at the back end of Ancient. If he falls off, is anybody else going to be able to step up and carry that weight for paiN? We're about to find out as the fist bumps go out. It is time for Inferno, the final map that we'll see between the Mongols and paiN. It will also be, for one of these two teams, the final map they'll play here in China.
That's right, elimination here. paiN don't want to go down without a fight. Mongols want to make sure that they can get some more games in front of the local APAC crowd. You've already seen however many Mongols jerseys in the crowd when they've been playing on the mainstream thus far. I'm sure there will be a lot of disappointed faces looking for them if they're not present in the playoffs. I'm going to start things out on the T side. Inferno here, given a lot of space to work with by paiN.
Yeah, I mean, it'll still be a tough qualification match for whichever of the two teams do go through this one. You'll be more than likely playing Spirit. It looks like they're going to get the dub over Heroic, so...
No, Heroic really made them work for it, though. I thought Heroic going to get it done in two, quite similar to VP against Vitality. There were certain points in this tournament where I really thought we were going to end up with quite a wacky bracket.
To an extent we have, you know, Spirit Mongols in the lower bracket playing an elimination match would be probably unexpected, although the controls factor is there. NQZ, though, has eaten a headshot to start this round off. The Mongols thinking about going A, but, of course, the bomb situated over in Banana is going to have them headed in that direction. So 2 players to defend. It'll be Snow that starts the proceedings nicely, but immediately traded back down by 910. So Danger Man out of the picture. biguzera trying to do what he can. A nice tap. Oh, 2. Techno and controls both go down. And all of a sudden, this round might swing back on its head. 910 rushing to try to get that plan, which he is able to achieve, but now it's all on MZinho. 3 kills required. There's not quite a clean enough couple of taps with the Glock. And that is the first round underway for paiN. But a bomb plant for the Mongols gives them options.
I mean, it was a good call from Mongols out, a localized 5-on-2 towards the B side of the map. Snow just creates something out of nothing, slipping through the smoke and then holding on back in a corner. biguzera gets way more than he really should have, considering he got handed a goosh instantaneously. Coming away with 2 there to set up paiN for a 3-on-2 post plant was absolutely magical.
Yeah, Heroic. Need to see more of that from
that's the other
paiN.
game. Sorry. My apologies.
What?
You will get a force buy from the Mongols.
Yep, as is customary if you get that bomb plant down. Bit of banana presence out here from the Mongols. They got the top 9 of smoke and the molly in for sandbags, so reasonably sure that there's not much of a contest there.
The progression to make from the T side there in that common choke point. Trying to lock the CTs out of Banana and secure that control. Deny a little bit of info. Second smoke now flying up over the top towards jungle side. And paiN, similar to the pistol, quite happy to just play hands off. We'll start to actually look for a little bit of information over towards this B side of the map. Snow says hello to Techno.
Hello. Walking their way out onto brackets. Just Techno here to try and lock down any potential push in Banana. No reason for paiN to do that just yet, but now that the running shoes are on for the Mongols. paiN are going to be starting to think it's a very similar approach to that last round. Bomb is transitioning its way back over to Banana, but Control's leading the charge here. Mac-10, he will have to clear close, and he does, kinda. Jumping up and down, needs to be traded back. That's the important kill. Again, biguzera is the key out here for paiN. He goes one better, and it's all on Mzinho. He'll be lucky to get a plant, but does have a smoke for CT. Not going to be given the time to cross by DGT, and paiN go up 2-0.
I feel like they keep trying to isolate Snow and Bigu. And in untenable situations, these two continue to deliver for paiN. Great decision making. I mean, Snow tucked himself in the close corner with the MP9, and Bigu feeling 2 arms of a push, trying to envelop around him, just opposite, take that fight into Banana and cut one of them off before it becomes a problem. 5-2 from the man. That was a D shot, I think, through the corner of the wall, maybe. Honestly, lucky to be alive. I don't know how often you'll see that.
Honestly, I feel like it actually kind of happens more than you think. A Glock shot through like a wall or something that does 1 damage, even though it's a headshot. How about that one, though, from Mzinho? Can he double down now that he knows where DGT is? paiN left scrambling a little bit on A. There's only the 2 players. Mzinho's picked up the M4. He's got himself a smoke as well, which is a nice bonus. That'll help them get into probably the B site.
I mean, Snow is quite battered at this point. 62 HP for the man. Aggression into Boiler from DGT going, looking for information. Unchecked. Freebie onto bLitz. Rifle hits the floor.
M4, yeah. I mean, that's not ideal, but 910 strikes back with the D. The Ds are doing some work right now. Gun's been retrieved. It's in the hands of Techno now, and Mzinho's crept his way back to the top of carpets.
He's been hanging around there. Wants to try to tussle with the players inside of the A site. Hasn't really had anyone peek him, give him an opportunity. Finally, NQZ sliding out onto the line. Not able to capitalize. In the meantime, Snow does catch controls on the lurk towards B. Now a 3-on-2 inside of the A site. Crossfire between NQZ and DGT on the site. DGT able to deliver from the cold box, and it's just 9-10. If he can connect this shot, maybe he can make the dig in time.
No.
But I think that's it. Damage done by the Mongols, but it won't be around.
Yeah, just tried to play it a little bit too slow, which you could understand why, right? He was trying to go stealthy, but didn't get the freebie that he wanted, and so paiN will get themselves another round, although it is at quite a cost. His money's quite low here for paiN. This could still very quickly swing back in the direction of the Mongols if they're able to pick up this next gun round.
Kept things expensive for paiN, who have had a great start to this game thus far. Need to harness this reset potential if you are the Mongols. Can't keep digging yourself a bigger hole, because it didn't go so great on Nuke. Two-man setup inside of carpets here for paiN. AWP is on the dig line. But it will be B site that does get tested again. Bigu and Snow, every time the Mongols head in their direction, they are worse for wear.
Techno's going to try and deny the sandbags retake with a molly of his own. But there's another set of util that comes through here from paiN.
And the molly fizzles. So maybe not necessarily what paiN would have wanted, and I think maybe that's why Bigu feels more pressure to throw down a smoke in the choke point a little bit earlier than he might have wanted to. Another smoke thrown over to jungle side, but paiN are reading this one well. DGT gonna rotate over towards that B side of the map. They stack 3 towards there, but maybe Mongols are not interested in B after all.
What are they interested in? That's what paiN is wondering. They've really got no idea at this stage, because there's been probes on both sides of the map. Banana has been taken by Mongols. Brackets now has been taken by Mongols. That's the formula for Inferno.
Will be an A finish. Davideus does have a smoke to throw down onto dig. Drops it. 23 seconds on the clock. In comes the jungle wrap. Surrounded on all sides are paiN inside of the A side.
Oh, that's a lucky kill for biguzera, but it could go a long way in helping paiN win this round. They've lined up. How how much more unfortunate could this round be for the Mongols? That has just gone awry. I mean, the gods have thrown a few bullets in the directions of the Mongols there, I'd say. That is rough living.
Spam through the smoke and then just the craziest collateral. Hitting a player, peeking out Dig and a player in motos simultaneously.
Yeah, that's a wild, wild collat. Like, it's not as if they're even standing close to each other at all.
Similar to the pistol and even the B split around the world, like these rounds from Mongols, the calls are a 5v2 inside these sites every time, and they're not getting any dubs. Sometimes due to some masterful play from paiN, and sometimes due to some terrible luck.
Well, the planets are aligning for paiN in that last round. Fortunes favoring this South American squad.
Man, got bad to worse here for Mongols now.
Well, they've got to find a way to dig deep. You know, it's going to be time for attack timeout, I imagine, after this round. See what Mara has to say.
Lovely flash timing there. Almost sets up DGT to further extend the advantage for paiN. Mongols under the press. Only 4 grenades to work with to try to work their way through the rest of this round. NQZ under pressure now. Doesn't get caught on the fadeaway. Backed up well by Davideus.
2 players that are relatively low, though, on this A side. So Mongols not out of the contest just yet, but they'll need to pick up the freebie onto DGT in the cutout, and that is going to be easier said than done now that NQZ has slid back on the line. It's a great crossfire, very, very tough one to break. DGT doesn't even really have to do anything here, but he's waiting for the flash to come across, and then he'll swing onto controls. That's a perfect round for paiN. 5 alive. Their CT side is really getting underway, and as expected, attack timeout called by Mongols.
Yeah, I mean, you can say what you like about the round previous in round number 4. Mongols getting a little bit unlucky. This was not a case of luck. Techno isolated for free. And then we're walking one by one into NQZ's lines. It feels like paiN are in flow state right now. Every aggression is finding value. And that wasn't even every opportunity that they could have taken in that round. The flash play on top middle could have even further extended their advantage into a 5-on-3. Even when some of the breaks don't go their way, they're still demolishing the Mongols right now.
And Mongols got to find a way to break this drought pretty soon, otherwise it is going to get out of hand. 5-0 is recoverable, but much more than this, and it's going to become a real problem.
Mob shot rattles out, not connecting on too much at all. And getting that flash play on top middle. Looking for someone to take advantage of. Mongols creeping up, contact up into brackets. NQZ finds controls.
Yep, just chilling. Easy kill for NQZ.
Another man advantage for paiN. I mean, Mongols didn't really have very much utility in a round like this. Very clear that they were trying to look for that contact approach up into A. Didn't find the timing.
Pretty tough going. Mzinho looks like he's going to be timed there and does. Unfortunately, find himself on the receiving end of a headshot from DGT. NQZ also able to strike for his second in the round. This is just one by one. The Mongols falling like a pack of cards. Or a house of cards, as it were. Techno will offer some resistance, but only so much. Bomb plant would be nice, I guess. He's going to try and fake it out and draw out that peak. Techno attempting to offer a masterclass, but nobody's buying.
It was a little too expensive. A 1v5. I mean, let's get real. 6-0 for paiN. Really making Mongols look like a second-rate outfit right now. Just a little bit too easy. Like, it's just all peeking into some pretty basic lines and finding value. Haven't seen really anything to write home about thus far from the Mongols. Like, the calling has been good in some of these rounds, and then they haven't been winning them. And since losing those initial couple of rounds, even the calling is starting to go by the wayside, and these rounds are just coming quite easily to paiN.
Oh, man, that is a lot of damage off of the util for the Mongols in this round. And NQZ lining them up again. Finds himself one, sets it up easily for Snow, and NQZ is just not missing right now. 910's Deagle also, to be fair, has been pretty good, but That's really only a silver lining to a very dark cloud for the Mongols at the moment. This is about to be 7-0.
And Davideus has made this play into second mid, looking to cut the map in half and just simplify down this round. It's a very strong position to just allow paiN to trust a setup on B. Should just be a save for 9-10 and a chance for them to really have a chat. In the dying hours of this half. Wait, okay, he could catch Davideus for 3 here. A site wide open.
Knifey Spoony.
He's read that so well, Jordan. Wow. 9-10, locked in. But on 18 HP, similar to Techno in the last round, like, surely you can't clutch this, right?
He does get out, and he is going to get a plant, and he has got an AK in hand, so it's not impossible. Let's see. He's going to opt for the Deagle, backing himself with that weapon, which has been connecting, and it was close, but a little too far this time around, and yeah, 7 for paiN. Of course, ends up being a little costlier, ends up being a bomb plan for the Mongols, but how many wooden spoon prizes can the Mongols really collect before they actually get something of value?
I mean, we're 7 rounds in and we got 2 players on the Mongols on a donut. Individuals have been up and down and shaky for this outfit so far in Chengdu, but this is not the game where you cannot turn up.
It's true.
Ops out for 9-10 yet again. We've got access to everything that they need. Mongols have got to start getting some rounds together, man.
paiN are so confident. NQZ just going to sit middle, set BGT up for a walk down mid, controls.
I mean, it's been first picked 3 or 4 times now.
It's not making it easy for the Mongols, that's for sure. Recontest into sandbags. Mongols set up to defend against that, and finally something goes their way. Both Techno and bLitz able to strike. It's the first kill on the board for bLitz as well. They'll start to work their way toward the B bomb site, but they don't actually have the bomb here, so not committing to it just yet. Allowing paiN to dump a bunch of util. This is a very goofy round at the moment. Mzinho, though, picks up a crucial kill, and this might actually just come down to the Mongols fragging out. They have completely ignored the fact that they don't have the bomb. They are just looking to kill all of those paiN members. Finally, 910's going to go and grab it. NQZ keeps himself alive. But yeah, bomb plant's still yet to be put down by the Mongols, but this should surely be their first round on the board.
You would hope so. QC looking to make it as expensive as possible. Creeping out towards spawn side. 910 is posted up. Connects the shot. A little worried there. If he goes down, you could get a smoke down onto the bomb and some kind of ninja attempt. But NQZ not quite as sneaky as he thinks. Think through his controls. How many times is this man going to get isolated running down into second mid, jumping around? Losing him early did not trouble the Mongols too much this time, though.
Mongols looking to try and exploit Banana again, but will be turned by the Molotov. Still dumping a lot of their utility at top 9 just to try to make it difficult for paiN to take that part of the map. But to be honest, paiN haven't really looked to control Banana all that much in this half.
No, quite happy to let the game come to them. When you've been delivering as much as Snow and Bigu have on that B side of the map, then you're quite confident that you can just allow Mongols to do whatever they want over there. Pixel line being held there by NQZ. And there's the carpets control. Smoke to bracket. Does come in from Mongols, limiting the information for paiN in the mid round here.
Slow and steady the approach from the Mongols. They take top Nana, they take brackets, and again, following that formula.
A lot of util left over on both sides of the map here. Smoke goes into Carps over on B. You got a smoke and a molly still. NQZ, after he takes the first shot, can dump a molly on Dig's side. Smoke's there for Davideus as well.
Yeah, looks like it's going to be a tough one for the Mongols. That insend will slow them down even further. They're taking the Virtus Pro route in this one, leaving that timer ticking down well below 20 seconds as they start to try and make their entry into the site. This has to be perfect. Still 3 players to find on A. No kills as of yet. Molotov pushing NQZ out of position, but it doesn't matter. A missed shot could be critical. 2 misses, but 5 seconds. They need to get the plant down on the floor. I think they've just managed it in time here, the Mongols. But they still have not dislodged NQZ in pit, and Controls can't get that job done. He's having an absolute stinker of a map, and 910 stepping up, keeping it alive for the Mongols, and that wrap in from bLitz could be a masterstroke, particularly if 910 hits one more shot. The Mongols might just get their way through this round, kicking and screaming. They have found a second, but boy, did it take some work.
I mean, NQZ's given them a lifeline there. He missed 4 shots in a row. All were very much doable for the man. He connects even one of those on Mongols as they come into the site. That round is over. Fortunately, 910 was not whiffing anywhere near as hard. Very reliable as he was in the Astralis series. 11 and 6 for the man. Does not want to go home here in Chengdu this early on. Money broken now for paiN. NQZ to pick up a hero rifle, but boosted from up on high. bLitz will tear them down.
Yeah, it's a recovery mission from the Mongols in this half, and it seems to be getting underway now. Obviously, that money being in the awkward spot for paiN is making this round a little bit easier for the Mongols, but it's a little bit touch and go. Davideus floating around there in the apartments, doesn't end up finding anything that he's interested in, so he's going to go back to the A side. And the rest of the Mongols pushing their way into B. They'll hear those ticks. They know that they've got a player isolated at the pillar. Controls with his second kill for the half. Hopefully building up a bit of confidence.
What started as an 0-7 is starting to be recovered. 3 is a guarantee. If they can even get a 4 or 5 here, it's a completely different game, especially momentum-wise coming into the half.
Yep.
Starting to see bLitz recovering his performance a little bit more. Everyone's starting to step up a little bit more for the Mongols, but Zinho going to hand an AK over to DGT. Not that it's necessarily something that he needs. Just a nice little extra bonus for him. Is also incredibly close to his monitor. I need to call this guy in 10 years and ask him how his eyesight is.
I can see perfectly fine, thank you. All I see is crosshairs, but
that's all you need to see. Just shoot
them, pretty good. So, timeout this time from paiN as things start to shift. Does feel as though the Mongols really do need these last couple, though. You let paiN back in, this might become irrecoverable.
paiN needs to turn around the end of this half. It started extremely well. They went up 7-0. Felt like they could do no wrong. Felt like a couple of things went fortunately for them.
Sure.
I think Mongols, it felt like they had the right call in a couple of those rounds. Maybe they got unlucky in one of those rounds. And paiN has reaped the good fortune of that. Don't want to let all of that hard work go by the wayside, though. Let's finish this nice and strong for the Brazilian outfit, 9-3. And then you give yourself enough room to work with to put down a team that has shown incredible resilience at times. Shown enough playmaking to be able to exploit some of your mistakes in the second half. Give yourself as much room to work with as possible to get yourself a dub over a team that you've had a tough time beating in the past.
Very relaxed approach to this round for the Mongols, not even trying to probe banana, which has typically been how they've started a lot of the rounds.
Zinho's often been flashing this angle when coming up for the creep into carpets. This time, try peeking it and punish in kind.
Yeah, Controls can't get anything as they exit. But he's going to go diving through the smoke.
Yeah, that's the most Controls play I've seen at this event.
Yes.
That is exactly how he used to play.
Well, if Mongols are going to get anything done in this round, they're going to have to go quickly in towards B while there's only the one player over there. But it doesn't seem like they're going to be quick enough. A flash comes across from biguzera. And it might be curtains for Mongols in this round as well. bLitz hunting for anything through the smoke. He does eventually catch up with biguzera. It'll be at the cost of a lot of his HP.
Gonna have to be another incredible play from 910 though. There's not really much more bLitz can do with his HP, but Snow from the back of the site continuing to impress. 8 and 3 for paiN. A nice conversion post timeout.
Yeah, this is madness from Controls.
I mean, he's just having one of those games. He's trying to get anything going for himself, but at this level, you can't just do whatever you want.
Yeah.
He's used to just making any play and having the mechanics to be able to just have it work, win yourself the round within Asia, you know?
Or the lack of mechanics on the other side, you know? Sometimes that shot gets missed by an AWPer domestically, right?
Yep.
But not here.
The gap between Mongols and any other Mongolian talent in the scene is
A long way.
huge.
Yep.
And Controls has made it look like that's not the case thus far, but in this particular game, I think this is a bit more of a fair representation of what your expectations would be.
Not done yet. A fourth for the Mongols would be a big deal, and they've got the money to have a bit of a crack. Let's see what they can do. Smoke for top mid is going to mean that NQZ is not going to be able to do too much. This time a faster play up banana. Back to the tried and true for the Mongols. biguzera will recontest that, and he gets the better of bLitz as the T-smoke actually fades to kind of get him out of there safely.
Boost up on top of logs. Looking to turn this one back around. Mazinho,
Smokes
unfortunately,
everywhere.
I mean, doesn't really do him too many more favors. Re-smoke to half wall. Techno was not the man in the pole position, but he's still the man to get it done.
He's just switched on.
Switched what on? Check his PC after this. Mongols doing desperately anything that they can to get back in this one.
Well, I mean, look, paiN have had a little bit of fortune earlier on in the half. It's about time that Mongols have a little bit there as well. See if it actually results in a conversion on this T side, but it gets them back into a position where they can fight for it, and they've just given the responsibility of Controls to try to work brackets on his own. That has actually brought NQZ back into the crosshair of 910. The layers of this round are starting to work for the Mongols now. They've also got Techno waiting for this re-aggression at top banana.
Some good fortune and some great play. Tavadeus alone on the side. Beautiful from Controls. Much needed kill to just secure a fourth from the Mongols. They were down and out 0-7 to open up this half, but 4-8 is a far sight from where they were initially.
Yeah, I think though, when you're down 0-7, to come away with a 4-8, you probably still have to just take that and say, yeah, we can make that work.
Yeah, absolutely.
We'll need the pistol round in the second half. DGT obviously coming across to try and see what happens. Not going to happen this time around. 8-4. As expected, paiN have come away with a pretty good first half there, but the Mongols fighting their way back on map 3. paiN are looking for their first win against the Mongols in over 12 months, and they're only 5 rounds away from doing it. Those 5 rounds could knock the Mongols out of IEM Chengdu and set paiN up for a lower bracket final attempt. The Mongols aren't quite done yet. Let's see what they've got for us on the CT side as we get underway with the second half pistol.
And Bigu was itching to take a fight with 910 in the form that he's been in. I'm not sure that that's advised. We'll fall away and turn their attention back towards this A side of the map. Zinho spotting out the carpet's pressure.
Yep, just got to back it up. Snow, oh, just clotheslined by Zinho. That is a huge shot, and it gives Controls a bit of room to work as well. That is a good defense from the Mongols as they get rolling on the CT side exactly how they'd need.
Get you one more. Go on, son, you deserve it.
He's back.
He has doubled his kills from the first half. That's a little bit more like it. Had some up and down maps here in Chengdu, but for the most part have been thoroughly impressed by Controls. And that's the recovery that you want to see from someone with a little bit less experience.
Yeah, paiN don't get a bomb plan there, so it's going to mean that their start to this half is delayed a little bit.
Which will let Mongols get back into things.
Exactly.
Really smart. Definitely have a game on our hands. Both of these teams itching to take on Spirit, who, at least in the first 2 maps, did look quite mortal against Heroic with their new additions.
Well, Mongols giving some respect over to paiN, not just trying to take this fight to them. Controls was having a little bit of a look down mid, but backs away after the initial couple of missed shots. Same for bLitz.
Look at the paiN weight, the more grenades they're just kind of passively drawing out of Mongols. Little wins in terms of the economy, and waiting for their time to get the Glock train rolling. It's been parked in the station for quite a while, but it looks like we're ready to depart.
910 will potentially be the first one to take contact, but actually falling off of that line. He'll hear those footsteps chasing him, and so set himself up at library, but multiple members heading in this direction is going to take a bit of a handful. Controls there to help him out. They will be aware that one player might have crossed their way into Arch, and so bLitz will come across to lock that kill down as well. Working in tandem nicely, the Mongols, to just clean out this round. They will end up losing Controls, so one gun drops. Techno would be the one ideally to pick up that M4, but he's on the other side of the map, so the rifle's gone by the wayside there, but not the end of the world.
910 having a little bit of a giggle and a look at Mara. Not sure what that was about, but just trying to keep the vibes up. Has been the biggest standout in some of these tougher games for the Mongols. This map in particular has had a pretty nice performance for himself. Looked incredibly sharp on the Deagle in particular. Same can be said against Astralis yesterday, despite the loss. Nades do so much damage to Bigu and NQZ. First gun round for paiN. And they've already managed to absorb the maximum amount of shrapnel possible.
That's just how it is on Inferno, isn't it? It almost feels like it's mandatory for the T side to start with a bit of a health deficit.
biguzera's more metal than man at this point.
Cyborg.
Gotta throw him some grenades. He's like AI, he knows what to do with them.
Inspector Gadget.
Oh man.
We're back.
What's his special move here? To span through the smoke. That is a hell of a trick.
It's going to prompt some aggression here from Controls, but luckily he's good enough for 2. He's certainly come alive here in the second half. That was a round that could have really gone astray for the Mongols. Could still, with this position of Davideus not having been cleared out yet. 910. Oh, he's pulled a grenade out or something. Pulled his knife out. I don't know. Davideus has found the perfect time to take that peek, and now it's a 2-on-2 on the A side.
DGT looking thoroughly stressed. Creep up into Dig.
How can you tell he's looking thoroughly stressed? I can't even see his face.
Well, I don't know. It's just the way that he's bobbing back and forth. Controls.
Take first contact. Zinho going to be waiting for that one, but the smoke isolates the duels, and this one falls apart for the Mongols. Disaster striking early in the second half. It's on the shoulders now of Techno.
And could come up clutch for them. Creeping his way up middle. Double pit setup, though. They're not going to give too much to him, but the molly could flush DGT out of the small pit. That's cute.
It's got 2 mollies.
That's very cute. Whoa, he's juggling grenades everywhere. Very fancy.
It was a good party trick.
He came in. It's like that bloke. What was that character's name in Game of Thrones that was played by Pedro Pascal, where he comes in and spins his staff around? He's like, "Oh, look at me!" And then he just gets
the Viper.
he just gets
The Viper.
Yeah. That was techno right there. Some fancy footwork on his way into the side. Cool moves, but paiN will still take the round.
It's like he's playing, an RPG or something. He's throwing out his firebolt spell until he runs out of mana.
Cool story, bro.
Yeah, whatever, nerd. Don't tell me you're not going to whatever nerd me, mate. You've been playing World of Warcraft all morning, all right? So let's just get that one out in the air.
Look, man, gotta get my reps in before the lockout.
Yeah, all right. Enjoy those fireballs.
The homies will know.
Fireball. Whatever, dude.
Look, timeout. Gonna be taken here. Good recovery from paiN in that last round in that 2-on-3. Just cracked that A site wide open.
Yeah. Still money, though, in the back pocket of the Mongols, so paiN aren't over the hump just yet.
This is the swing round, though. Double digits for paiN would put Mongols on the ropes here, or this game will continue to be just as tight as it's been in the middle part of it. Not so much the opening of it.
And QZ on his way forward. That Mac 10 looking to see him through the smoke, and it's tickling, but it's not really hurting too much.
That's not the point of having a little tickle, Jordan. I don't know what kind of tickles you're getting on the regular. Progression smoke going to dissuade Mongols from any further acts of aggression. At least for the moment, but like looking at what paiN have got to work with, what we've got, a smoke, 2 mollies and a flash. That's it. A little bit more convincing utility for Mongols, but how much of it is on B? I mean, bLitz has still got a smoke to work with, but outside of that, there's very little. The rest of the util is very much over on this A side of the map. What could you get done with a little if you're paiN?
The longer they wait, the better this might end up getting for the Mongols, because that smoke will provide a little more assistance. So they're not going to wait it down too long. Off they go. Techno not going to have any success on top of the flower pots there, as he's now been smoked off. Molly for Nubox and for Dark. And the flashes come through. This looks like a good take for paiN, but they haven't got the entries. Here we are. The Mongols all of a sudden just burst to life. And despite the great util coverage from paiN, they are unable to break down the door on B.
There was no HE to break the smoke. Well timed by bLitz. Flash catches the player on statue, full blind, but there was numbers there for Mongols. Good flood in through the smoke into barbecue and absolutely smoked paiN. Bigu has got himself the hero AK. Not much else to work with in this round for paiN. And that's what I wanted to see, to be honest. Like, it would have just been lame if paiN went double digits and just won this map. Gonna get a very tight affair between these two teams.
So it would seem. biguzera will see if he can change that up in any way with this hero AK buy.
He's already been peppered a little. Oh, man.
Peppered a lot.
Yeah, every time he's tried to go into banana, he has been thoroughly harassed.
Oh. Hello. Another grenade for the boys. Big stack on the B side of the map again. It's not often that you'll see 3 players defending banana like this. So Mongols very much expecting some aggression towards B, which might well be their undoing in this round. 9-10 backing it up in library. bLitz gets the info, and now they're going to have to get their running shoes on to try to get over to A to try to back things up, because that is where the real offensive is maybe headed, unless they go around the world to B. There's options here for paiN. Go back to B, go back to B. Wait, go away, wait, go away. No, go back to B. The comms are all over the place at this point.
Yeah, thoroughly confused.
Hang on, go A, go A.
No, go B. Techno.
Go B, go B.
He knows what's happening. He's in the barbecue pit, and he is cooking. Bigu going down early. There's no AK on or off of a paiN. Swinging around, not quite as fancy as he was in the previous round, doing twists and turns wells every which way.
That's well done from Techno, but I was just watching Controls in Banana go A, go B, go A, go B, go A, go B. He eventually got there in the end.
He was just getting his laps in, man. I'm sure he's going to post his Strava on Twitter.
Yeah, he did put his running shoes on after all. He just decided he wanted to go for a long run instead of a tempo run.
Yep. That's on God. paiN.
Thanks for your input on that one.
You're welcome. Money's pretty good here for Mongols now. Showing some recovery on this CT side. bLitz push off the line, bullying their way
the molly
into Banana. paiN. HE for Techno. He's considering it. There it goes. Oh, not quite as juicy as you would have liked. Second one doesn't find the mark either. Smokes exchange between both of these teams. Now some movements back towards brackets. Oh, 910's been spotted. Do not give this man an opportunity.
Boiler. Oh, it's a dangerous place to be for 910 apparently. That's clean from DGT. Perfect crosshair placement. Pulls the rotation off of B.
Yeah, I mean, this time, similar to the other round for paiN, no real util to work with as we head into the late round towards this B site. It's a little bit of a different story, though, when you have a man advantage and there's nobody in the site itself. Should be a freebie here for paiN. And themselves double digits, and I mean, Mongols in a game this tight, on the verge of elimination, just need to hold on to these weapons. Let's not do anything too crazy here. Setting up a net around paiN. paiN do have no money behind this, so you can see Mongols very much setting up for the exits. They want to make this round as expensive for paiN as possible. They gave them that B site, but now they want to take everything else away.
Zinho is still worried about someone potentially on A, so Controls has the job of holding Banana alone. Might not be getting too much out of this one unless they go towards CT spawn, which was actually a bit of a consideration from paiN, and yeah, a lot of damage being done. But you just got to wonder if mZinho is there. I suppose he was going for the orb, but if mZinho was there at the bottom of Nana, he probably cleans up those last two players.
He does, yeah, for sure. And 0 guns taken through for paiN would have been quite troublesome in terms of how stable their economy is going to look going forward. Last time out for the Mongols. You can already see Mara looking very vocal. Boys need some words of inspiration here to get this series across the line. paiN are out for blood today. Sick of losing to the Mongols. Nobody beats paiN 4 times in a row in this year.
Apparently not. Not the Mongols, maybe at least, but it's not done yet. I mean, this is still a really close scoreline. And as we've said, the economy of paiN is kind of living and dying on the next couple of rounds. So if there's too quickly on the trot here for the Mongols, they're well and truly in control of the map.
Yeah, but they're pretty broke too, man.
I suppose so. A little bit more to play with.
Could be a opportunity for 910. But give him another one, only on the single zoom there. It's a difficult shot to hit, and he won't connect it. Quicker pacing from paiN in towards second mid. A majority of the members, a little bit of util pressure over on the other side for Bigu, just to keep them interested. Carbs control secured by paiN. Is it going to be a pop out of the balcony? Seems like they want to work their way into bracket instead. Flash up over the top. Look how much util Mongols still have, though.
I don't know if it's going to get used. The way things are looking at the moment, they're just holding guns out, ready to go.
I mean, that was a lot of footwork from paiN just to nade an empty pit. Testing some weapons of mass destruction over there.
Oh, this is a really nicely timed top Nana retake from the Mongols. They get the insend at the half wall. The flash sets Techno up, and he'll drop a smoke. Just as paiN start thinking about wanting to come through that flash, he actually turns back into it, I think, and has to go scurrying back into the site. Luckily, bLitz has got a molly in hand, and he's also got a smoke. So again, paiN will be turned away by utility.
Yeah, 910 dumps another Molotov in the choke. The door is thoroughly closed, and paiN now going to scramble back towards that A side. DGT has got a lot of space deep up inside of carpets here, but Mongols are trying to stay one step ahead of this on the rotate.
It might be a little bit too little too late here. 9-10 and bLitz are hot-footing it as quickly as they can, but they're going to need some defense done by the A defenders. And there's one from mZinho. bLitz coming across on the rotate, helps out Controls, who will hold the site nicely. A really, really nicely read round by the Mongols. They go back and forth and back and forth, and they toy with the rotates of paiN, but they're always where they needed to be.
I mean, the approach was relatively straightforward from paiN for the majority of that round, but the door was thoroughly closed to the B site. They just could never really get the clean entry and execution that they were looking for, so it's panic back towards A, and a mop-up that looked quite similar to the pistol that started off this CT side for Mongols. Controls and mZinho. I mean, what is this recovery from Controls? He was 2-10, Jordan.
I mean, that's why he's the GOAT. That's why he replaced him.
13-3 in this half with a 3K to start off in the pistol.
9-10 going to miss that shot. Jump across, obviously, from paiN, making it difficult. This could be awkward. DGT with a headshot, and now trying to defend the site only. This is not the round you can lose. The Mongols faltering at a very inopportune time. Techno spotted by Davideus in the side. And just when you think the Mongols are getting back in action, it looks like they're about to give this round up.
I think they fumbled the pack here.
Is having a look. Surely you can't be going for this 5v2. I mean, Controls is out of there. That is grim. That is very painful.
They've got no more timeouts. Yeah. So you're not going to be able to have any kind of reprieve, any kind of mental reset. And paiN, after a round where it could never really feel like they could get the entry that they needed, they find the perfect timing to crack that A side open. A hell of a shot into the pit there by DGT on the Deagle, and 9-10. Too much pressure.
Well, once again, we look to the Mongols to step up another time. paiN have been front running for the entirety of this map, and it does feel like the Mongols are closing in on them slowly but surely, but they are very much running out of time. We're going to get a tack timeout here actually from paiN.
It's going to give a chance for Mongols to reset a little bit. paiN feeling like they want to settle things down, reiterate just how big of an opportunity this is. A lot of vocalization from the coach there, just setting them with the right mentality. Bigu chimes in as well. They want to get this series done and have a crack at Spirit for a spot in the playoffs. For Mongols though, as mentioned before, they did not have a timeout going into the round. They suffer a loss versus Eco. That will give them also a chance to refocus in a round where your A pit anchor isn't going to have much util to work with. Neither is 9-10, but he does get the AWP out regardless. But still a serviceable enough buy to fight through this game if you're the Mongols.
Oh, they're going to have to make it work. 12 from paiN here would be a death sentence for the Mongols, I'd say. So,
9-10 active inside the boiler where things are getting a little heated. mZinho ready to back him up.
Yeah, they are going to try something a bit different with this hold. mZinho on the off angle needs to find this opening kill. Snow has been good, but not good enough this time around. And mZinho goes for more. He finds the double. He knows that he was the player that went down early in the last round, wants to make amends for it in this round, and does so in spades.
You love to see that. Similar to that shelf round from Techno, who, funnily enough, is the next man to get active here for the Mongols. Despite the man advantage, they want to keep pushing the issue, but maybe that's ill-advised. Techno gonna keep things nice and locked up. Still a two-man advantage, shutting the door on the B site with the smoke.
Well, progression smoke thrown in here from paiN, so Techno's going to be a little bit worried that they might still be trying to lurk their way out through that. Does call for the backup from Controls, who will confirm that the B site remains secure.
Timeout ineffective for paiN. If anything, it allowed an opportunity for Mongols to get themselves organized in a setup that paiN haven't had to deal with yet. Might have backfired a little bit.
This is going to be another quasi timeout from paiN. It looks like it will be. Take the last sort of 30 seconds of this round to have a bit of a chat. I mean, money's okay on the behalf of paiN at the moment. They'll get a buy next round. This is really, really coming down to the wire.
It's exactly what we wanted to see. This is not even the qualification just yet. You're being made to work for even the opportunity to take on an outfit like Team Spirit. Great adaptation from the Mongols, though, has to be said. Zinho stepping up where it's needed. Techno in kind. Another chance to have a crack at series point here for paiN or Mongols to equalize. And from there, I mean, you'd be feeling very confident if you were the CT side, especially because paiN are starting to run out of cash. Without a bomb plant here, I struggle to think of what they can put together.
Oh, is it going to be a boost in boiler? No. Yes? I think it is. A boost in boiler for the Mongols, so they're really coming up with all the goodies in the latter stages of this half, but a 4-1 split is a bold choice considering it's just bLitz holding on to the B-side solo.
Yeah, I mean, they already found success with that carp setup. Oh, 9-10 onto Snow. Hasn't had as good of a map as he started out with this series. It's mostly been DGT doing the lifting for paiN. Aggression into second in here for Controls. You don't want to give up that advantage, but instead further extend it. The heavy hitter for paiN hits the deck. Pigu next up to peek, and Mazinho's already ready. Masterful. These two carp setups from Mongols have been so effective.
It's not a particularly deep smoke, actually, that one. So it does give Davideus a little bit of room to work his way onto the site. He's going to have a look. There's not many avenues back into this round, but it might be a pick or two from Davideus that does it. He's been spotted out now, though, by that player in CT, so it should be crisis averted.
Oh.
Techno 4K just toying with his food.
I didn't even see him. You were jiggled by an elbow. 9-10 going to convert a flawless gun round win. You see a little bit of relief there from Mara. He's in cruise control now.
It ain't over till it's over.
I mean, there's nothing he can do, really. He's out of timeouts. You just got to put your hands up and hope the boys can figure it out.
Just walk away. Have an up.
Money's broken for paiN. They were given a lifeline with that eco round. And Mongols don't give a damn. They're just going to win the next two on the trot regardless.
Oh, this is also why Mongols is such a fun team to watch, because they often have games like this where it really does go down to the wire.
I mean, that's Asian CS in a nutshell. That's the best representative. Do embody it. Big plays and some questionable ones at times.
Just through the smoke onto Snow, opens this round up. It doesn't necessarily mean the round is over, but Mongols are going to be hoping to avoid what happened on the last eco round from paiN.
Yeah, let's not be letting history repeat itself. 9-10 under pressure. Closes the door on Davideus.
Smoked off. Controls.
Oh dear, no, not like this.
And now, again, it's just a solo hold on the A side. Zinho needs to lock it down. He does a great job to get rid of DGT, which means he can just focus in onto this arch side angle. Now it's 9-10 that is in a scary spot. Bomb can transition over towards B. An important kill there from Techno, but still, paiN have guns, and they can have the B side.
Yeah, the AWP is in NQC's hands as well. You cannot take him for granted. Bigu came up with a couple of magical rounds on this B side to start off this game for paiN. Went up 7-0 as a result. Techno just keeping ears out. Doesn't need to do anything too much here. Mongols just trusting in the numbers to close this round out.
Techno having a look now. He's going to go ahead of the play on his own, try and isolate a duel on the plan, and he has been able to do so. Does a good job of bringing it down to the 1v2, but NQC gets blitz, and Zinho's on the other side of the map. He's got to come charging across. Here we go. This could be a huge moment for paiN if NQZ can pull this round off. All it takes is one shot, and Zinho walks right into it. paiN to 12, and the Mongols remain on 11.
The second eco in as many rounds. paiN, multiple lifelines handed over to them by the Mongols, who seem to just be tripping up on themselves right now. Huge play from NQZ. And I was kind of expecting Mongols to just organize themselves to complete the 3-on-1. You cannot give an AWPer of NQZ's caliber 3 opportunities like that.
No, certainly not. Well, again, Mongols on another recovery mission. They need one to get this one through to OT. But paiN have all the money that they want in this round to play with, and so the job gets more difficult. And this would be the first win for paiN in over 12 months against the Mongols.
And this would be one of the poorest placements for the Mongols this year on APAC soil nonetheless. Even without Senzu, you're expecting them to at least make it into the playoffs here.
Well, brackets taken by paiN.
Mongols quite hands off this round. Not wanting to make any mistakes. TGT started to make his way up into carpets. Big presence inside a bracket. There's the retake utility over towards the B side of the map to secure things for Techno. 50 seconds. Not many grenades left for paiN. Plenty for Mongols. Just waiting to see what the T side's next move will be.
It's just going to be a good old-fashioned 3-2 split here for the Mongols. 9-10 posted up at Library. No doubt that he's going to have some kind of an impact in this round as paiN start to set their sights on the A site. 9-10, what is that? That timing is crazy, but he re-peeks right into Snow, disrespects him, and takes the first kill of the round, and now the second as well. It's coming back together for the Mongols. They continue to fight hard. Mzinho still sitting on this site, inside that smoke. He'll be able to deny this bomb plant. Davideus with the fake actually does get it down. And another 1v3 on offer for paiN. Quick as you like. The Mongols making their way back in for this retake attempt. The flash connects. And so too will Techno. It is 12-12 secured. Another overtime here on the B stream today.
Nothing but bangers on the best stream for a reason. Bit of a heart stopper there for Davideus. Back to back. 1-on-3s converted by paiN would be a bitter way to exit the tournament. If you are the Mongols, big smile on Mara's face. Probably relief, if anything, in straight gun rounds. Mongols have beaten the goods, but it's really only against the pistols that they've been slipping up. They were down 0-7 in this game to start things off. They've lost 2 anti-ecos in the last 6 rounds, and they still make it to overtime.
They just won't die.
How much do paiN need to do, man?
Well, they need to win a few gun rounds, I guess. That's really what it comes down to. Grenade will get the trade for bLitz's death, and Controls is just unhinged, bro. He's just running down mid.
He didn't have anyone else with him. Mzinho was up inside a balcony, checked well by Snow, though. Oh, Mongols, the aggression backfiring a little.
Might be leaning back toward B here, which is where the setup is. So it could still go wrong. They're walking into one another. 9-10 onto the line, gets the better of NQZ. Techno falls, no trade from 9-10. He knows he needs to try and take this fight, but too much to do as Snow comes in to back it up, and paiN will take the first round of overtime.
They're starting well. Despite some aggression from Mongols, paiN does well to hold their nerve there and respond with a couple jabs of their own. Saw Bigu get quite bold at the start of that last round and look for an opening pick, but it's NQZ with the slightly better spawn this time around. Tries to beat the progression smoke into middle here. Flashed off the line initially. HE thrown in his direction. Oh my lord, that hit so much. I think it was a nade stack through Banana as well. NQZ goes down as a result. No AWPer. Snow feeling the need, feeling the pressure to make something happen on Bracken's side. And in the blink of an eye, it's a 2-man advantage for Mongols.
Doesn't mean that this is a round that's done and dusted, although it's heading in that direction. The Mongols activating all over the map. Pretty much shutting it down. Davideus is going to have a crack with that AWP himself. He's heard Techno, but doesn't cotton onto that fact quickly enough that he's on top of first oranges, and so it will be a round in response by the Mongols. A quick fight back. But why is it always the Mongols playing from behind? That's what this map has really felt like. They have just been playing catch-up after catch-up after catch-up, and just when it feels like, you know, they should be able to get out in front, again, you know, paiN take that round that forces the Mongols to try and catch back up to them again. So at some point, we have to see Mongols break that trend if they want to win this map.
Timeout in OT here. And coach getting involved, and Bigu Trying to rally the troops. This is such a winnable series. paiN do not want to lose to the Mongols for the 4th time this year. On the verge of having an opportunity to make it into the playoffs of an IEM. Mongols, on the other hand, I mean, you know, as mentioned before, there's plenty of people that will have bought a ticket to IEM Chengdu hoping to watch a game from the Mongols. Here in APAC, all of the fans get around the Mongols, whether you're Mongolian or not. This is the crown jewel of our scene. A chance to watch them play in an event like this is one you don't want to miss. But if they miss out due to their own performance, it's going to be quite disappointing for many.
Yeah, a lot of banana control taken in this round. The Mongols are going to go for this sort of like forward banana hold with 3. Which obviously leaves the A side a little bit less defended, and it is something that paiN saw in regulation, but they're going to walk right into it, and I mean, it's not going to work out. You've got 2 players to defend on either side of banana. You're just never winning that duel as biguzera.
I mean, post-timeout, every time that paiN have had one, it's felt like they've come up with a little bit of a different approach. That time, not quicker pacing in towards banana, but looking to kind of retake in the mid-round, and every time post-timeout, Mongols have had some crazy different setup organized for themselves that ends up working. 2nd round in a row that paiN try to limp through the rest of this round with a 2-man disadvantage. Try to activate Snow here. Could be a timing to be found onto bLitz, who was anti-flash behind the car. Things just go bad to worse for this Brazilian side.
Controls creeping back onto the brackets line. He's not going to spot DGT. Well, DGT will spot him. But Control's happy to pull his knife out and give DGT a free kill. That is one way of taking that engagement.
Localized 2-on-2 on this A site. If only for a moment. 9-10 nails a sitter. DGT as well, just peeking straight into his line. How easy can you make it for a man in such fine form? Mongols with their nose out in front. I don't think we saw them in regulation have that double stack towards the bottom side of banana. This is what I'm talking about. Like paiN take a timeout.
We did see 1 round.
Oh, 1 round.
Yeah.
Okay.
There was 1 at least. 2 players at the bottom of banana and 1 player at car.
And they had the carb set up as well. Just really mixing things up. It's made it quite tough for paiN to read what they're attacking into at times.
bLitz is the one doing the majority of the talking here. So, just wanting to really lock in the strategy to start off this T side with a win. Give them 2 bites of the cherry to close this out in the first OT. But now Mongols have got the lead. They haven't had the lead at all on Inferno. It has been a grind. They have worked hard. They've played the percentages. And slowly but surely, those 51%ers are starting to pay off as they find themselves in front. And now it's a case of closing this series out.
It's the kind of tenacity that you need to climb out of a pretty irrelevant region in the grand scale of Counter-Strike. Outside of what was a one-hit wonder over in Taipei, I think it was, at one point. Almost 10 years ago now.
IEM Taipei, yeah.
Oh, the double orb is not something that Mongols have seen yet. It's a nice adaptation for paiN coming into OT.
Response from the Mongols is just to walk their way toward bracket, and it looks like they're going to try and bust down the door on the A site. It is a 4-on-3.
Dapper Days has got ants in his pants. A execute will come in.
Zenio smoked off. Maybe happy to wait it out as it does give the Controls a little bit to work in this arch side position as well. He's worried about that AWP, as he well should be. Now a potential creep through the smoke. Controls gets the freebie. DGT, that is a mishap that should not go this way. Controls is locked in for 2, and all of a sudden the Mongols take the advantage in the round with 30 seconds on the clock. MQZ might need to do that work again, but from pit, he's missed a couple in regulation that gave the Mongols a chance back in at this map, and He's missed one or two here as well. That is now problematic indeed, as the Mongols will take 15 and they will take series point.
The A defense has capitulated for paiN. What on earth am I watching? biguz connected his two. But I didn't realize we were betting in controls by giving him freebies in his step up into a tier 1 tournament.
Yeah, I mean, we're going to walk through a smoke at controls and then
Twice.
whip a bunch of shots in pit. It's not going to work for paiN.
NQZ has missed some sitters from that position already in regulation. Feels like the pressure is really getting to him at this point. Mongols, the ones to apply that press. At some point in this game, it would have felt like paiN could not have lost it. A 7-0 start, and now they face elimination here in Chengdu. Mongols continue to apply the pressure. Straight up banana. Techno dropped off. See if he's going to have a little bit of a party later on while the rest of Mongols organize themselves over towards brackets.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't move, he won't be seen. Controls through the smoke again. What is this guy on?
Incredible recovery from the man who started this game out 2-10. Another opening pick after cracking things open on jungle side. That's the second round in a row to put Mongols out in front.
You might have thought the controls era was over after yesterday, but apparently it's back on.
Downfall was greatly exaggerated.
B-side still receiving pressure, and there's another kill for controls as he steps up again in a big moment. Another double kill right at the back end of this game. A-side is just on Davideus in pit. He has to make something happen here for paiN, otherwise they will be out of IEM Chengdu in 30 seconds. The first kill onto Mzinho, a pretty routine one. And Mongols slowing down a little bit, but it does not matter. Techno and controls strike, and it's all on NQZ. He won a 1v3 earlier on, but this feels impossible. Taking some time to set himself. Will work his way out of library. Controls on the other side of it. And who else but Controls to throw his gun away and leave it to Techno to finish the map off. I have no idea what this guy is trying to cook. But at the end of the day, it doesn't matter. The Mongols will take the dub. It was a hard-fought victory over paiN, but they take it 16-13, knocking paiN out of IEM Chengdu and setting themselves up for that lower bracket final.